Welcome to day 2 of my week or possibly longer long stream series with Ma No Hands, where my hands are broken, so instead of using them for anything, I have my friends trick me into being distracted from work by showing me a bunch of games that they want to have more people know about. Today's co-host is the excellent Piph Zero, who is almost always playing games on his Twitch channel when he is not here, so you should watch him after this.
Oh.
This is Metal Wolf Chaos XD. I know maybe 2 things about this game. I know that you are the president, the vice president wants to take over, and there are robots.
Yes.
So what is Metal Wolf Chaos, Piff?
Well, I won't get into the deep lore, because the game will do that pretty darn well, but generally, you are the president of the United States controlling a mech, and you have to win back America and freedom.
So this is the most American game of all time. Is what. No, you know, that seems inaccurate. This looks like what Japan would assume America is like at the end of the 90s.
You are very close to correct.
Alright.
I will get into more of that when the time comes, but I don't want to spoil the plot.
Alright, do we just want to dive into it then?
I'll let this intro play out.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if this was like a collection of cutscenes from the game,
No.
or if this is just a prologue. Oh, alright.
This is by itself. You have to wait for this cutscene in the opening, or else you will not see this.
What a big welcome. I'll make you just like perforated cheese for
Oh, it seems like they love you so much. They're not gonna let you go.
no problem. You guys are
This has some voice work.
It does. You might actually recognize this voice from Samurai Champloo.
I don't think I do.
You're probably right, because it showed up in exactly one episode of Samurai Champloo.
Is that the episode? Oh, alright, we're done.
We're done. Believe in your own justice.
I do.
Alright, let's immediately kick into a new game. This is how the game starts, mind you. Just, here's the A button. Oh, that's right, this is the long credit.
By the end of the
first
fir-
quarter.
Oh, good, it's
yeah.
narrated.
Freedom was dead in America.
Yeah,
Beginning
that's
with a
true.
large-scale military coup d'etat that erupted in various cities throughout the nation.
So this was
The
made
rebels seized power in
around
all the
and
central
during the
institutions
time of
government.
9/11.
The entire nation
Okay.
appeared to have fallen completely into the hands of the coup d'etat forces.
And this was
However,
made
one final
by
hope in opposing
a
the coup d'etat forces
Japanese
remained.
section of From Software.
This final hope being the U.S. president
and
himself.
overseen
Michael Wilson,
by
the
Microsoft
47th president of the United
that wanted
States,
a really American
equipped with
game
a special mobile armored
made
ops
by Japan
developed in secret by the military,
to actually
boldly
enhance the
waged his
sales
own
of the
personal war
Xbox
alone
in Japan.
to take back
Did it work?
America's freedom.
No.
Get out my special ops suit, Jody.
It looks like a fancy party is about to start. This kind of party is a first for me.
So, this weird, like,
Mr. President?
collection of things coming out of your back, those are weapons, those are guns.
Oh, I figured.
Okay, let's party!
I hope you like
To the White House.
I hope you like the intro to this game, because we're right into it. We're fighting shit. Got a shotgun in one hand and a freaking revolver in another. What else do you want?
Let's go, God.
This is already a mess. So, first we need to save the prisoners of war.
Are they priests? Oh, they are!
Oh, you see one of them has a guitar.
Help! This reminds me of Toy Story 2 for the N64, where there's just like...
Was among the POWs
You shot the guitar, man!
So, that's how you actually unlock music in this game, is by saving musicians.
I actually love that.
Sorry,
I love that you're just ignoring the rebels. Yeah, no, it reminds me of in the Toy Story 2 game for the PSX and N64. There's like a bunch of the secondary Toy Story characters who have like quests and shit will just call out to you on like a loop. So it'll just be like, "Hey Buzz! Hey Buzz! Buzzy boy!" Fuck this guy. So, obviously you have played this game before.
I have.
Do you have limited ammo?
No, you can see the ammo on the bottom left and right side. So,
Okay.
so this game has dual-wielding weapon features, which means you have to use...
Weren't people attacking you?
Yes, ignore them. So how this works is you have the actual shoulder buttons to fire your left and right gun. The boxes you see on the screen are actually, like, how much...
Dad! Sorry! Forgive me!
So this is a statue of your father, who I have to assume was a... Oh no, Dad!
He's holding a weapon.
What's the weapon?
God, I can't remember. I think it might be a flamethrower.
President.
I was so hoping that you just triggered like a super boss and the ghost of your father was about to show up in a mech.
Using this oversized backdoor.
Dad, I'm sorry.
The enemy are just lowly foot soldiers. Even if they aim at you and fire, they're no match for your special heavy mobile armor.
But if they don't aim at you and fire, they might shoot a tree. No, not an American tree!
Anything that stands in your way. Switching over your weapons, depending on the situation, is the main key to fighting. Try out the weapons in your backpack as you like.
So you also got a stomp move, is one of your best moves in the game, like, when you start out. It's a large AoE and a lot of damage. And it clears out these nice little crates. So there's a lot of pickups in this game. I have a long relationship with this game, because I actually got the Japanese version of this, which was all voice acted exactly like this. Like, this is the original voice acting.
Excellent.
And everything was in Japanese, besides the voice acting.
Mr. President, there's an aircraft hangar beyond this passageway. Now let's hurry. The aircraft hangar is behind the barrier. I'll open the barrier now. Please
like
wait
finger.
a moment.
So, I didn't know what any of these items were that I was picking up. Now I do, because I'm now much more educated.
Now I'm a Metal Wolf expert.
It's true.
Is your mech called Metal Wolf?
Yes.
Okay.
Whoa, something quite dangerous awaits. But with missiles of that caliber, if you aim and fire, you should be able to easily shoot them down.
So, there's a few cool things about this game. So, you can shoot these guys to defeat them, you can shoot the missiles out of the air. There's also environmental damage. So you can actually break the platform they're standing on.
Oh, that's fun. I love that, like, your assistant seems to... She has the same investment in your situation as, like, a mom who is, like, humoring their child for, like, a Disneyland stage show. Just like, oh, here comes Mickey.
Well, look looky here. More guests.
So,
Well,
from
guess
what I
they
can
won't
actually
be
tell,
voting for
the
you
people
next
who
term.
made
Mr.
this game
President,
actually did make a mech
take
game
aim at Air
before
Force
this.
One.
Please
Um,
be careful.
God.
Metal Wolf Peacetime.
It was actually, not the same name. We had to wait until the plane spins around. And also protected from people firing the missiles at them. Right now we're picking up some collectibles. Thanks for the boost! God, the audio in this is ridiculous. Love it.
It's very meaty. The movement is a lot smoother than I expected, actually.
It's a little rough.
So, are these... Oh, it looks smooth.
Keep you waiting, Mr. President. How's that for a ticketless chicken?
You said chicken, not check-in.
Yeah, ticket... Oh no. The...
Just another
Ticketless
day
chicken.
at the Oval Office, huh, Mr. President? Welcome to Air Force One.
People are dead.
Don't worry, this is how Air Force One works, right?
That's... I love that. That's so stupid. Why did you do that?
It was an emergency escape. We had no choice. Those forces
We're the
were-
good guy, right?
Yes.
Invited. They're definitely...
Michael!
Mr. President, it looks like this party is just getting started.
Welcome to level 1 of Metal Wolf Chaos.
Jesus.
We unlocked a lot of stuff.
Oh, I love this music.
Oh yeah, it's good. So...
Richard! We unlocked Funkadelica.
Yeah. Now this stuff is not voice, so...
Oh, okay. Well, I'll voice it for you in the style of this game. President Michael Wilson's flight from the White House cemented Vice President Richard Hawke's hold on the country. With the Pentagon, Congress, and every other core institution in America firmly in his grasp, Hawke was free to thrust his depravity upon the country in the name of revolution. The land of the free was free no more. But let me tell you the story of a man who stood out against that tide, who believed in his own justice, even when it seemed the whole country had turned against him. CNN correspondent Peter McDonald.
Jody, update me as to the status of the nation.
I love these. Also, the music is really good.
Jesus Christ!
The Pentagon, the United Nations, and all central government institutions have fallen
The
into
United
hands of the Vice President.
Nations!
Yep. All of them. The hands of
You know
the
how-
Vice President.
God, we got an uphill battle here ahead of
Have
us.
they?
Have they?
Mr. President, believe in your own justice. I'm sure your father would have told you the same.
Jody, how's my schedule look for today?
Yeah, how's the schedule?
You've got a conference and dinner party at the Japanese embassy regarding wildlife protection.
Oh yeah. Sorry, but I'll have to cancel that. I'm heading out to save America. Can you let them know I won't be able to make it?
Yes, Mr. President.
I wish they had those phrases in the opposite order. What?
To my beloved fellow Americans,
Are you ready for Fox
this
News?
is an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department.
Clearly CNN.
Your American justice and freedom
You'll see.
supporter. First of all, what I would like to tell each and every one of you is this. recent events were not a mere coup d'etat, but rather a revolution to correct the wrongs in the United States of America. To our regret, our nation is in a crisis
Oh, it's a
situation.
Persona 5 all-out
Since
attack.
2010, domestic terrorism problems have increased rapidly. Economic disputes originating from the exhaustion
Remember
of
fossil fuels?
and the sudden rise in unemployment due to the influx of large-scale immigration.
What?
Neither the current president nor the American government took actions to address these various problems.
This game hits harder in 2020.
They have filled their own pockets adhering to terrorist cells. To correct this situation, Richard Hawk, Arizona insurrection hero and vice president of the old government and the U.S. military, rose to the task at hand. Much like our ancestors did, based in a belief of winning freedom, and based in the belief of an independent war, and based in the belief in this
Independent
great
war?
nation. However, to our regret, an evil to disobey this belief exists in the United States of America too. And here is that
Can you guys in
evil.
chat not be horny for Richard?
This villainous terrorist who first appeared in Washington and began his unjust rampage goes by the alias Metal Wolf. His current whereabouts are unknown. While all of America will be under martial law until Metal Wolf is caught, please do not confuse the issues at hand. Without fail, the U.S. military elite forces, with a combined strength of 1.5 million, promise
That's
to
nothing!
smash this unforgivable evil to pieces.
Someone in chat, I'm
This
gonna
has
read
been
this
an
as though
announcement
it's
from
a
the
line
Government
from
Policy
the game.
Promotion Department.
I am not
No
horny for
special
Richard!
remedy
I
for
hate
all
him!
kinds of evil.
Alright.
Alright, where are we going first? Oh,
San
San
Francisco.
The
Francisco.
army that occupies San Francisco still runs rampant and deprives 780,000 citizens of their freedom. Target areas that the enemy force uses as the base of their military activities are built around the town.
By the way, just side note, love Jody. One of my favorite characters.
Target areas where enemy forces are concentrated are dangerous, but you can weaken their morale by destroying enemy armies. Destroy
You can
all
weaken
target
their
areas,
morale by
annihilate the
murdering
enemy force,
them.
and make
Yeah.
the liberation of San Francisco shine as a beacon of hope in your counteroffensive. This mission goes by the call name Metropolitan Recapture Operation from Cisco Sighted Road.
Cisco Sido Road.
She,
Good
like,
luck and Godspeed, Mr.
God.
President.
she's like a special kind of bad VA work.
Alright. So now we need to put in development to make sure that we can invest to manufacture our guns.
So who are you, like, contracting to make guns for you, Metal Wolf?
Oh, we just are under to get this one. Dag.
I will have to sell Jody!
I don't think I can sell anything. Sad. Well,
Oh well.
we'll just have to go in as this. And we're gonna have to do a lot of stomping. Here we go.
Meanwhile, in the skies above
Mr.
San
President,
Francisco.
How's the skydiving?
What?
Too bad.
San Francisco, occupied by coup d'etat forces, will be the starting point of our counteroffensive.
Do not enter.
And here's the starting grid.
Okay,
The That's quite a gentlemanly landing, sir, befitting only of a U.S. president.
The gentleman in me goes off the clock at 5 p.m. And now I'm gonna take
No
America
sound effects.
Annihilate the enemy army by destroying the target areas where the troops have amassed. Destroy all the target areas scattered throughout, and take back the town.
As you can see, guns really don't do too much. It's the stompies that gets them.
Ah.
Bonus funds.
I love that there's no deeper strategy to, like, retaking the United States than murder everyone who is in the coup.
That's how you do it, man.
I guess. I mean, it doesn't not work.
Mr. President, POWs are being transported in that cage. Destroy the cage with light firearms and rescue the people inside.
So
What
if
happens
you
stomp on the cages.
if you stomp on them or use explosives, you actually kill the people inside.
Some scientists were among the POWs you rescued. They were used to develop new weapons for the military. Way to go, Mr. President! Now the POW can be safely liberated. The enemy forces have
So
even captured
safe!
San Francisco's cable cars. We can't let them get away with using the symbol of this great American city.
You just blew it up!
Yeah, man.
There will be no America when
The
I'm
time
done with it.
self-destruct device is attacked. The time limit self-destruct device has been activated.
Oh, shit.
Hurry
Spilled
and
a bunch of
destroy
water
it.
all over my
A
desk.
musician was
I'm
among
gonna go
the
get some
POWs
towels.
you
Okay.
rescued. He was forced to play the Chinese air
I
horn.
spilled water! Richard!
Safely free.
You just miss one of the, like, rare one-line save things, which is, he was forced to play the Chinese air flute. I don't know.
The yellow icons on your radar are designated targets in
Right.
each area. Destroy each target and blow the area to oblivion. Reinforcements come from the adjacent areas. When there are too many reinforcements, try attacking from another area. You could call it winning by retreating. Mr. President, the target area has been destroyed. This has been a momentous first job. The target with the spinning antenna is the enemy's communications facility. From this facility, when communications are made, large numbers of reinforcements join the battle. It's really a nuisance, so destroy it first.
Sometimes it's a little hard to actually get the stompies.
So, what's like the difficulty on this game out of 10? Because it...
If you do not know what you're doing, it is a very high difficulty.
Target areas still remain.
Um,
Control the vicinity area well.
they do not
Succeeded
really
in saving the
explain
POWs.
most of anything in this game.
Really?
As you can see from the opening, there was no tutorial. They just kind of throw you in and go like, you could probably switch your backpack, I guess.
Every American shoots out of the womb like a bazooka, knowing how to kill. No tutorials are required.
Whoa!
Whoa,
Pride of the United States
Words that
military.
kill, Mr.
And
President.
Abrams tanks. I never thought they would join the fight.
Piph, I really have to commend you. That's such a like an aimed at me gag you just did.
Against the tough
Thank
tank
you.
armor. Please
You're
don't
just
hold back
stopping
on using
the
weapons in
tanks.
Of
backpack.
course! This is how you win! You hit them with your feetsies! Again, like, if you know what you're doing, this game can be very quick. If you do not know what you're doing, it can be a freaking hellfire. Like, there is some POVs that are over there that, like, will blow up if we get too close, and same thing over here.
Ah, okay.
See that there's, like, a little timer thing that goes off.
Huh, okay.
And remember, you have to use normal bullet fire and not your zombie
yeah.
or explosives. It's... tank. Try to run for me,
That makes enough sense. You have to use your feet. The foot is the most powerful part of the American. I learned that from Quentin Tarantino's action movies, since he always focuses on the feet for some reason.
I agree. Feet good.
You cannot do that when my mouth is
Mr. President, there are 5 areas remaining.
I
Destroy them
agree.
one
Feet
after the
good.
other.
Ha! I think feet are terrible. Richard!
Oh, you'll hear him more later on. Oh boy.
Yeah, I need to know what he sounds like so I can do bits. This is a tricky game to do bits for because everyone's like got just notably weird voice work, but all in slightly different directions.
Yeah.
So that's why Americans are stuck using the Imperial system.
The enemy forces have
We'll
just
never
crossed
measure
the
in
line of
meters.
fire. The
Feet
building
are
was opened 2
superior.
years ago on April 25th. It's named the Halcon Denkai China Building. Each season it's decorated with gorgeous lights. Their Christmas
Lady.
tree tops them all. Over 800,000 people came to see it last December. For such a long time,
Jody.
I've been wondering how lovely that gorgeous building would look if it were destroyed. I feel bad for the owner, but hey, let's smash the hell out of it.
Jody!
What's wrong?
Why would you humanize the building before telling me to blow it up?
God, what a great building. Anyway, we're fucking destroying this shit, and you shouldn't feel bad about it. It stares at you.
Jody, are you a psychopath?
Could be.
That's a stupid question, I guess. Do you think this is too many? Why are we blowing this up? Other than Jody's explosion fetish?
I don't think there's any other reason.
Oh. Yes, Michael. Kill them all.
She is an odd one, and I love it. So we destroyed enough targets to destroy all of them. You don't have to do them like piece by piece.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nice thinking on your feet.
Thinking on your feet?
Mr. President. Could this be
Oh,
a
God.
thank you for destroying the area?
I thought we were liberating the city.
Present.
Not recreating the San Francisco earthquake.
That fat boy needs a presidential diet. I guess he's had too much junk food. Yeah, that kid some too.
As you can see, Stompy does lots of damage.
Jody, I never know what you're. What? What?
So, there is a super move.
Not really, Jody. Nothing to get excited about.
That uses all of the weapons in your backpack at once.
That's very fun, actually.
I did take one blip of damage during that fight.
Chat says, hey, an explosion fetish is the most American fetish ever. No! Feet! So, are there like checkpoints? Do you ever get healed, or?
No.
Yep. Okay, so you gotta do a level in one go.
Yes. There is healing items. Okay, so let me try to explain the health system. On the top right, there are 2 green things. The bubbles and the bar. The bar is 1 bubble, and that can be replenished. But once a bubble is depleted, you have to find a health pack to replenish that bubble.
Oh, okay. So, that's very much like, you have multiple health bars. Are you sure you're not playing the actual bad guy and you're like an endgame boss with like 11 health bars going around blowing up the cities before our hero Richard can stop you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm out of that bullet. Alright.
Someone in chat. We're liberating the city of life.
There's also a boost bar, that is the yellow gauge, which depletes whenever I try to use a boost move that does not include the stomping move.
Show them the true heart of America.
Yes. Showed them America. They're not wrong.
This is a very Chinese area of San Francisco, damn.
Now let's see. What part of the map's still not done? What target do I have left? Must have been something like up ahead that I just missed. Yeah, one of my weapons is out. I'll switch over to my trusty revolver.
I do love the halo of weapons. What the fuck were they saying?
It's just gibberish.
That's one of my favorite things in a video game, is when I love voice acting, obviously, but I have a soft spot for whenever characters speak in nonsense babble the whole time. Can't you just bend the bars? Okay.
No! No, these are my bullets for America! Oh, what the heck do I need to blow up? Oh, okay. I missed something super early in the level. Excuse me. I'll try to actually go quickly. So if you actually do diagonal boosts, you can kind of go around the limit of how many boosts you can do, and you can cancel it basically, because technically you're going in a different direction.
So this is the speedrun strat.
I've played this so much. For everyone who's watching, and also for Jello, this is my 5th time playing through the game.
Wave dashing. This is your Castlevania Symphony of the Night Alucard movement.
So I missed those guys over there, these random towers.
Ah.
I thought it was only at, the end of the level that I needed to, destroy all the stuff, but I guess the beginning of the level still counts. Alright. Alright, game. Also, you might notice I didn't do any damage to this when I hit it in the front, because I hit the gun and not the tower.
The enemy forces in San Francisco have been annihilated. Nice work, Mr. President.
Sure.
All in a day's work, huh, Mr. President?
Sure, whatever.
Nope, we've only just begun. The fight will continue. As long as the America inside my heart is still alive.
Thank you.
This end of level reward music is horrible. Weep whoop weep whoop. Mr. President, I am practicing my guitar. A sharp rebuke of cannon fire echoed across San Francisco as President Wilson commenced his counteroffensive against the vice president's regime. The liberation of the city struck a chord in the hearts of a small band of patriots whose alabaster soul whose alabaster souls still believed in the freedom that Richard Hawk had stripped away. A movement had been born, and it wanted Hawk to get the hell out of Dodge. The wings of justice were spreading. Is DNN on our side or not?
Okay.
Like an eagle getting ready to soar.
So these are a retrospect.
Okay.
For these particular sections, but there is a modern DNN that's happening.
So this is the Fox News of the future when we take the country back and the propaganda swings in the other direction.
Yes. You'll see.
Mr. President, the Information Management Department received an email that might interest you.
So you might have noticed that most of the sound quality in all of these are not very good. Let me,
An email?
Actually, it's a sound file.
Let me show you
Oh,
something.
God.
Play it for me.
Yes, boss.
Excuse me.
Volunteers to oppose the coup d'etat forces. Awaiting response from fellow sympathizers.
The sound quality is terrible. Could you try and contact the person who sent the email?
Sure.
Increase
of
your
course, boss.
sound quality.
Maybe America's faith in freedom hasn't faded just yet. And Jody, I'm taking back our country, going from west to east.
Go west. I mean, east, young man. Huh? Mr. President, we got a message from the Information Management Department. The coup d'etat forces are making an announcement on national television.
Connect me.
I like.
Dear
Remember when we
fellow
were
Americans,
watching? Hang on,
evening.
I'll hold that thought.
This is an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, where the password is overflowing love and daily benevolence. Today, we bring you a
You want to
most
go over to Pensy
unfortunate
or
bulletin.
Mesa?
Last evening, the city of San Francisco suffered extensive damage at the hand of Metal Wolf, who suddenly appeared. In addition to slaughtering unresisting citizens, this heinous terrorist took citizens hostage
Penis.
and made an unjust demand for the release of violent criminals
hear him crying.
and the sum of $500 million. This vicious act could easily be the worst in U.S. history.
Are you okay? So remember when we were watching Bone Chillers and I just couldn't even react because so much was happening?
Yeah.
And we will not permit him to get away with acts like this. We Americans will never.
You know, I really can't blame them for making propaganda against you since you blew up half of Chinatown.
Obtain our own justice.
The building was like reinforced with weaponry.
My fellow Americans,
Was it?
Yeah.
please bear with our
You'll see
situation.
later.
To defend this lovable nation,
They do this more.
let's lead the brave
You know, when I think
fight
America, I
together.
think, what a lovable nation.
This has been an announcement. from
Really
the
just a
Government
scrappy
Policy Promotion
underdog.
Department, Where our motto, justice over theory, is your motto.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah.
We've been made public enemy number one. How about
I
seeking
can't
exile or
imagine
asking for
why.
help from other nations?
No.
Her constant, like, half smile, like, you know what she sounds like? Is she sounds like the announcer for an arcade racing game, where she's always just kind of happy, like, boost, nitro, lap 2, and he's just like, I hate everything. So every time she talks for a long period of time, and then he responds bluntly, it destroys me.
I'm the president.
You sure are, buddy.
I can't be the one to start a war in this country. I'll be the one
You,
to wage.
that's literally your job!
Mr.
One of your
President.
only actual jobs as president
Hey,
is the
Jody,
ability to
update me
declare
on the
war.
situation in the West.
What?
Alright, you got to pick, Jello. What do you want next? Alcatraz? Beverly Hills? Phoenix? Or Grand Canyon?
Well, he said let's go, he said he was gonna go west to east, so let's go west to west. I think Alcatraz. I've been to Alcatraz, so I can check how accurate Alcatraz is.
Good.
On the prison island Alcatraz, only 3 kilometers offshore from San Francisco, the enemy force is setting up a huge electromagnetic Alcatraz cannon to combat terrorism.
Oh,
All the shelling in the desert region has implanted fear into the hearts of the people on the west coast. The shelling is directed at
desert
keeping the
region.
dissidents in check. By
What
destroying the
dissidents?
energy tanks around the Alcatraz cannon, you can stop its operation. The current is so strong that no one has ever escaped from Alcatraz. Please be careful not to fall in the ocean. Aim to destroy the Alcatraz cannon.
Please tell me that the bay is just gonna have whirlpools in it.
This mission goes by the call name Smash the Island Prison. Good luck and Godspeed, Mr. President.
I don't think Godspeed is 2 words. Can you get whatever weapon that was that you wanted before?
Oh, yeah.
Is it better than the stomp?
Yes.
So how does the investment thing work?
Okay, so investing unlocks the ability to buy the weapon. And then from there, you can basically purchase the weapons.
Okay.
So
luckily, I stole $300,000 from the building we blew up.
Great job!
Great job, Mr. President.
No.
Thanks,
was
Jody.
It was just my duty as the president.
Alright, so we invested into a bit of machine guns. So there's, you know, SMGs.
Okay.
And then, Gatling guns.
Yeah, that's about right.
We'll get down farther into this list later.
So are all the guns just bullety, or are there any silly ones like laser cannons that you can get later on?
So there's machine guns, assault rifles, bazookas, missile launchers, which is different.
What I was gonna say, what the fuck is the difference?
So, bazookas fire just a rocket and will travel in that trajectory. The missile launcher is a lock-on multi-missile.
Ah, okay, it's like heat-seeking. All right.
Yeah. There's a grenade launcher.
Someone in chat says Space Needle laser. I would love it if, as you went on through this game, you got increasingly ridiculous weapons that were just like, I picked up the Space Needle. It launches enemies into space. Thanks, Seattle. Like,
you had sniper rifles.
Like the Grand Canyon The Grand Canyon upgrades your stomp so that you create little canyons that move forward and stretch out and eat people.
God, that'd be great. Railguns.
I'm surprised there's this many categories.
Yeah, multi-missile launcher. Oh. Okay, so this is the multi-missile one. I think the other one was that it's a lock-on single missile. This is the multi-lock-on. Flamethrowers. And there's handgun, shotguns, and it kind of cycles through. So, you do get ridiculous weapons much, much later.
Okay.
But we're just going to be with what we have right now. So I want to just kit myself out a little bit. So I'm gonna just put these bazookas here. Don't mind me.
Someone in chat says, President Voice, I got the Pearl Harbor boots. I don't even know what that would do. This allows me to get bombed. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other American monuments. Statue of Liberty would be, you'd have her torch and it would be an AoE flamethrower. Or actually, it's give me your poor huddled masses. So it's like a magnetic ability where you raise the torch and any nearby enemies are just drawn into you so you can destroy them.
I see.
I picked up the Golden Gate Bridge. Now I can cross bodies of water. God, that's funny.
That'd be great.
What is that, Jody? That's Mount Rushmore, Mr. President. It allows you to dash.
Jody, what is that daunting thing?
The Alcatraz cannon.
Yeah,
How
you know Alcatraz.
Original. Richard, you'd never make it on Madison Avenue.
Stop and surrender, Metal Wolf.
Surrender?
If you fail to comply, the Alcatraz cannon will zap you back West Coast.
Will it now?
What? West Coast.
Not if I zap it first.
Zap you back West Coast.
What an unbelievable read.
Mr. President, the Alcatraz cannon just started to recharge.
I'm on the move.
So this
I'll
is a
smash it faster
big
than
circle
Florida
to get
Weekend.
around the island.
Okay, this is actually what the
Gun battery
landing
that
looks
big
like
should
for what
take
it's
5
worth.
minutes to recharge. Until then, head for the Alcatraz cannon in the center of the island.
What are you doing, Piph?
Is that...
This is DNN's Peter McDonald reporting. That's the heinous terrorist Metal Wolf, as seen from the air. He's trying to take over the Alcatraz cannon and destroy the West Coast. DNN is coming to you live and exclusively as these events unfold.
Forget him, and keep your mind on the mission, Mr. President.
Are you trying to do a secret tech? Oh. Oh, is this like an escape tunnel?
A musician
What-
was
how the
among
fuck are you
POWs
supposed to
rescued.
find
He
this?
was forced to perform to entertain the troops. Some scientists
I
were
blew
among
up
the
some dudes, like,
POWs
above
you
me.
rescued. They were probably used to make the Alcatraz cannon.
But yeah, we're like on a time limit, as you can see from the charge bit.
Yeah, I like that it's not a timer. It's a percentage. I don't know why. So those ones with the
energy recharge rate of the Alcatraz
are those
is
like,
rising.
will they
If you
blow up
destroy
the prisoners
energy
if you're not
devices
fast
in the
enough?
target areas, you can decrease
It
the amount of
activates
available
when you're
power.
close,
The defense
and
strength is
will just
high
be like
against
a
live
timer.
ammunition.
So let's switch over to our newly gotten gains.
Yeah. So I have been to Alcatraz. I don't know if I'd recommend it. It's not an especially interesting tour. There's no feet there, so there's better places to go in America.
So how this gun works is it shoots rockets up into the air and then splits off into grenades, which
Okay.
Oh no! The final fortress has
which
been
does
demolished.
a boatload of damage.
So, the US
Like, for
military
some
has had
reason,
something
they
up its
just
sleeve.
didn't balance this
Those who
one gun you can
interfere
get
will be
stupid early in the
eliminated.
game. And it kind of
The energy
is
tanks in the
close to,
surrounding
if
area
not
are
the
key
best
parts of
gun.
the Alcatraz cannon.
So
Please destroy everything
you've watched a
before
little
the
Red
energy
Suit Prey, right,
recharges.
Piff?
Yeah.
Am I make? Have you seen their playthrough of Last Alert?
No. I probably have, but I'm not remembering the name very well.
Last Alert is the one where you play Guy Kazama and you're just a one-man army shooting through everything, and it's given me very Last Alert vibes, this game. The voice acting is famously terrible because it's literally a couple guys in their basement. It's that game that Aram and I quote it all the time,
US
that
military is being decimated
Dr.
platoon
Garcia,
after platoon.
how is our
Who
secret
wouldn't
weapon,
care for a
Indra,
flashlight for
coming
this buzzing
along?
insect?
It should be ready within a month. That's from that game.
Wait a minute! Before Metal Wolf could seize the area, under military orders, the soldiers blew up
So
the
yeah,
Alcatraz
I
cannon.
did do a little bit of
Simply
tech. I basically
amazing.
skipped
The US
pretty much the
military
entire
gets the
level
job
by
done no matter
just
what.
sliding up a hill.
That confused
Nice.
journalist better double check his facts.
Today, once again, U.S. military forces were dealt a lethal blow by Metal Wolf. But thanks to these heroes in our military, Metal Wolf and his conspiracy have been held in check. Our hearts go out to the men and women who sacrificed their lives in battle, and to their families as well. Any further reporting is too dangerous. Our news team is seeking refuge.
Fun fact,
Be
that
the
thing is
first to
actually in
know
the
as
level
we
and you
continue
can shoot it.
pursuing Metal
And you
Wolf,
can destroy
because,
it.
yes, the pen is still
Does this-
mightier than the sword. This has been
Does
Peter
this,
McDonald for DNN.
Just a
Talk
cutscene
about
change if you blow
biased
them up.
reporting.
No, because
It's
they keep coming
exhausting to
back.
listen
Like,
to.
phew, good
That's-
thing we got out of that
At least the West
one.
Coast is safe
God,
now.
that's funny.
Excellent work, Mr. President.
I can't get over the riff at the beginning of this song. It literally sounds like it stutters 4 times and restarts until the actual song starts. The destruction of the Alcatraz cannon brought peace to the West Coast and gave the resistance new momentum.
Don't you mean West Coast?
West Coast! Sorry, I'll read it that way in the future. But Richard Hawk's messaging continued to have a strong hold on the American people. Destroy Metal Wolf, we cried along like hysterical brainwashed children, and that ignorant chorus became the battle hymn of our oppressors. In time, we would be made painfully aware of just how blind we were.
By the way, Jody, what happened with yesterday's email?
The Information Management Department succeeded in contacting the source of the email.
Really? Let me hear it.
So do you have to do every level in the game, or just like a set number? Okay.
I am the one who formed the resistance to put a stop to Richard Hawk and his recklessness.
This is the better version of this audio, and it will stay like this pretty much the entire game.
Right now I'm aiming for a united uprising and seek volunteers. Metal Wolf, we eagerly await your rampage.
Great. They haven't sold out hope yet.
Mr. President,
Smile.
I haven't been this happy since that supermarket going out of business sale, when I was searching for my favorite candy and I found the last box all covered in dust at the back of the rack. And the expiration date was still good.
I know the feeling, Jody. Brief me on the next battlefield.
Jody is insane. Jody is just a fucking lunatic.
Some of my favorite lines in this entire game. I haven't been this happy since I found my favorite candy.
You showed me that before, yeah, actually.
Okay, so next one would be Beverly Hills.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Their suppression of Beverly Hills. This is due to information that leaked out regarding some millionaires who are amassing capital to fund a resistance. While the number of soldiers equipped with heavy firearms is great, if you pay higher attention to their attacks, they're no threat to your mobile armor. The verticals in this battle theater are violent. Consider the advantages and disadvantages in the geographical features as you destroy all the target areas in the town. This mission.
Whoa, that was like actually kind of a sensible read. Never mind.
Bring fashion back to the streets. Good luck and Godspeed, Mr. President.
Hell yeah. Let's invest more into
weapons. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick while you upgrade. Oh shit.
Not enough. Oh. Is this the one where there's a bit of an intro? How is chat doing?
Alright. This has nothing to do with anything, but been drinking Snapple iced tea and I've been having a fun time because this I have a habit of, like, if anything has a wrapper on it, like a water bottle, I end up just destroying it and tearing it apart. Yeah. And this one has an extra amount of, like, the sticky glue that they put on the water bottle. And it got all over my fingers, and I've just been sticking and unsticking my fingers. And you know what? It's just one of life's small delights.
I know that feeling.
Enemy explosive devices are planted all over the city of Beverly Hills. Destroy all the bombs and liberate the town.
So, how do you think we'll deactivate the bombs?
Roger that.
I'm gonna guess we blow them up.
That's correct.
This is DNN's Peter McDonald reporting. What you're looking at is the heinous terrorist Metal Wolf as seen from the air.
So this is the guy who's in the future reports as well. So I guess Peter McDonald lives.
Stay tuned as this
Yes.
camera and I bring you all the news you want to know.
Not him again.
Embed that journalist in the ground. Forget him and
What?
Keep your mind on the mission, Mr. President.
That wasn't even like a pun. Just like embed him in the ground.
While destroying the radar jamming
Bury
station.
him
Some scientists
in the
from
ground.
DOWs you rescued
Yeah.
Literally.
Literally.
That's a radar jamming station. If you destroy it, the bombs will surely show up on radar.
Jeez. Nice.
Good thing we blew up everyone.
Make him a habeas corpse would have been a good pun. This game ain't about good puns.
Destroy it from a safe distance.
The Hatman says, murder that man, but in a patriotic way. That's it. You've broken down Jody's dialogue to its most basic components.
Damn it.
Oh God. I love explosive weapons in video games.
It's good.
They're just my favorite. They feel so satisfying to use.
It will detonate. Don't be so lax.
I'll be lax if I want to, Jody.
They're also a little annoying to get hit by, but oh boy.
Oh, this looks promising. The pride of the U.S. military. Blackhawks raise their ugly heads.
What? Ugly? Are you on their side or not? Yeah, explosions are my favorite type of ammunition in games, and electric is my least favorite. I hate being hit with things in games that, like, stun you or freeze you. What are my thoughts on Gundam in general? I actually really don't like mecha as a genre. I've never enjoyed it. It's just not for me. I can't get over, like, the senseless destruction, because I'm like the dad friend who's always just like, oh, someone's gonna have to clean that up. I can't imagine how much that building costs. So, like, I can't have fun in that genre. This one is so dumb that it kind of just, like we're just so violent and so evil that it kind of works in a weird way. I'm surprised at this game's, like, fidelity in 3D. It's a weird way of saying it, but I'm surprised there's so much freedom of three-dimensional movement, like that you can hop up hills and stuff. It looks more like the type of game where you'd be, like, kind of locked to a certain height and thered be a bunch of invisible walls. I'm not sure if that's on purpose or if this game is just silly.
The National Guard troops have been defeated. Metal Wolf has annihilated the troops and
So this one's a bit funky, where I have to make sure that I do not get close or hit the bomb.
This could be the world's biggest heist.
That guy sounds familiar.
There is quite a few voice actors that actually do things.
That one sounds like Otacon.
Oh, yeah.
Snake!
There is people that do, shoot. I cannot remember all of the different, like, things that everyone did in here, but, like, there's a lot of... The main people in this are, like, bit people in, like, other things.
Maybe we should turn around. Shit! Ah!
This level is a little annoying, just a smidge, because it's just a big map where you have to just go around and destroy, like, individual things.
The home of international superstar Money Money Gold. What business does Metal
Money
Wolf
Money
have
Gold?
with a
Money Money
$3.2
Gold.
billion man? Maybe he's going to take out a loan. Oh man, he's destroying the mansion. Add destruction of personal property to the breaking and entering charges. The U.S. Constitution is downright powerless against Metal Wolf's evil. What now? Not again. A battalion of troops has been defeated.
Oh, put a sock in it.
So, This one also has...
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I thought that was you for a second.
Thank you. This level's in Beverly Hills, so we don't have to worry about destroying the buildings since they're owned by rich assholes. No, these are the millionaires who are donating money to the freedom cause, whereas the people we want to destroy are billionaires who donate money to nothing. Like, we want to blow up, like, Silicon Valley.
So,
flailing.
There's a lot of really annoying rescue dudes in this specific level. Yeah, there's...
and liberate the town.
What was that, Jello?
I don't know. I'm just... There's a lot going on.
There's...
Do we ever get to meet Money Gold?
I don't think so. But Money Gold is referenced a lot.
Okay.
I don't know why, but...
Well, because in the sequel, he was going to be the president, like how actors sometimes become president, like Ronald Reagan.
That was weird. Music Man.
A musician was among the POWs you rescued. I wonder if the vice president wants to go as far as to control the music in America.
Watched an interesting video by Lindsay Ellis on protest music immediately after 9/11, and I've seen other articles written on how the 9/11 actually ruined country music.
Here they come. They're aggressive.
Oh god.
I'm a
Oh my god, yeah though, I highly recommend watching through a playthrough of Last Alert, because Last Alert is just like nothing but stupid amounts of gunplay, and then at the end of every level, a little boss fight with the worst voice acting in history, and there's some real great ones. At the end of a river, you reach this like dude in a scuba suit who dives in and out of the water.
Live ammunition.
And he's like,
hee guy, I'm gonna destroy you.
How interesting. But it will be you who is destroyed, not me.
That sounds delightful.
You would love it, Piph. I'd like to think you've seen it and you just don't remember.
Yeah.
It's so up your... It's exactly this genre of game. This one just like has more actual gameplay in it. Because I think Last Alert is an SNES game. They're coming. These are the trucks that attacked Sonic the Hedgehog. Another symbol of America.
I wish. Oh, I wish that he would just pick up a picture of Sonic the Hedgehog and specifically Shadow. Just be like,
you know, brush his finger gently against Sonic's cheek in the picture.
Did I kill it? No.
Alright, someone in chat knows Last Alert. This river's oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I was conflating hee guy, I'm gonna destroy you is one, but this river's gonna run red with your blood. No, it will be your blood. And the Retsupre guy's reaction to that is just like, nice comeback, General. General of wordplay, perhaps. General Shakespeare.
Yeah, this is one of my least favorite levels in the game, because it really is just like a menial task instead of like a fun thing to do.
Beverly Hills, not where Piph wants to be.
Where are the other bombs?
Yeah, this level's pretty samey. This game would really... Oh, wait, hang on. What does that poster say?
It is just Vice President Spirit Justice.
That literally looks like Impact font. That's like a meme format propaganda poster. Yeah, this game could really benefit from like a Crazy Taxi arrow.
Yeah. Like, you miss one thing and you're just like, where could that be?
Oh my god!
Still love that.
In Cold Steel, which the Cold Steel RPGs, there are certain boss fights you do in mechas, because there's some mecha warfare. And at the end of every single one of them, any generic you kill, they have the exact same voice line, which is them dying and going, "Curse you!" And it's very funny. That tank was just non-stop shooting that palm tree.
Yeah, they have weird things that they aim for.
Make sure to hide these POWs like they're a dumpster.
There's one of them on, like, one of these rooftops somewhere that you need, like, a sniper rifle to get. It is ridiculous.
That's kind of fun, I guess.
It's, like, one of the few that is just, like, hyper hidden. None of the other...
I wish this game were like a, more like an arcade rail shooter, like a Time Crisis type thing.
Yeah.
Because then you wouldn't have to deal with the where am I supposed to go. We did it! We deactivated the bomb!
Bomb deactivated. Good thing these bombs didn't go off.
It can't blow up now that I blew it up.
Control of the entire town.
Thank you for the
Any further
subscription.
reporting is too dangerous. Our news team is seeking refuge. But our coverage of these events will continue.
Have we played
Because,
Typing of the Dead? I've watched
pen is
through it.
Still mightier
I
than
could
the
never.
sword. This has been Peter
No.
McDonald for DNN.
I'm sure those wealthy fat cats will
Bye,
repair the
Appleman.
damage, making their homes even more beautiful than before. Nice
You're
work,
very
Mr.
irresponsible, Jody.
Yeah.
So what are damage points versus KO points?
So damage points is any and all damage. Like field damage and whatnot. KO is more of like how many people you killed.
Well, you got 0 damage points.
Oh wait, that's probably like taking damage. Anyway.
In liberating Beverly Hills, the president gained the financial support of some of America's wealthiest citizens who poured money into his campaign. Anti-Hawk sentiment had a new hero, and that hero's name was Michael Wilson. Was it? They don't seem to recognize you're the president.
Nope.
Lately, Hollywood would bring his thrilling story to life. Oh, lately. Later, they would make a movie, a blockbuster action biopic, Metal Wolf, which topped box office charts for 42 weeks. It's movies are in theaters for that long. It won multiple Oscars. Naturally, the film's theme song and #1 single was penned by international superstar Manny Gold. He got demoted. One of Beverly Hills's. Oh, I guess this is the correspondent, so I should be doing his Otacon voice.
Yes, I'll play it for you now.
Metal Wolf, we applaud and appreciate your efforts. Our membership has started to rise, one brave soul at a time.
You know, you're right. I think this entire game is formatted like a meme. Memes do this, right? Where they have the freaking, like, hyper-distorted voice.
Yeah?
Just freaking blow it out, turn it down so it doesn't actually blow out your eardrums.
I'm putting all my efforts into our activities, hoping that the day we revolt will come soon.
I'd like to see that day too.
Yeah.
Look how happy he is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like a mother hen here.
What?
Okay, Mr. President. You best hurry. And
Okay,
get to the next
Mr. President.
I guess the next most one is Phoenix?
I
By
go
like
to
a
Grand
sliver.
Canyon.
Right.
Let's do Grand Canyon just to break up
Operating out
the
of a
cities.
massive helicopter base constructed in the Grand Canyon, enemy Army helicopter units continue to oppress the American West. The target
Why
area
would
terrain
you
is sure to be confusingly
make a
fierce
flying
because
place
the
at the
enemy
bottom
army
of the
has
Grand
taken over guerrilla
Canyon?
bases from the Arizona insurrection days. Please watch your steps so you don't fall into the 1-mile-deep ravine. Use artillery
We're not
with
at the base.
long-range firing effectively and destroy all the target areas. This mission goes by the call name Operation Arizona, Blood and Gunpowder Smoke.
That sounds like a movie at least.
Mr. President.
Very quickly shove all my money into
America.
America. Actually, let's manufacture. I think I got enough for like. We could develop, yeah, like one.
Was that a drum rim shot in the middle of that briefing? Yeah, Jody's mission titles always come with a rim shot sound effect.
Pretty good.
One of my favorite things someone pointed out to me was they were just like, I don't understand why Japanese games will sometimes, like, when they're making levels, they'll have, like, you know, fire level, water level, sewer level, Japan level. Like, it'll just be, like, pagodas and stuff. And I think that is weird, and I like the idea of having hyper-cartoonized levels of other countries, and I feel like this game's is just an extended America level on that degree.
God, yeah. Let's put on our machine gun that is a machine gun of machine guns. It is 3 machine gun barrels that circle around. As
Fun.
in, like,
Pointless, but fun.
Full on just 3 machine guns taped together.
Bang, bang. Bloodstain had a Japan level? That is weird.
The enemy is building a military base in the Grand Canyon.
Why?
Doesn't
Such
this
a
remind
terrible
you of
idea.
the Arizona insurrection days?
Is that the
No,
deep lore of
I
this
don't
game?
remember anything.
What?
Except the smell of blood and gun smoke.
There he is.
All right, let's rock and roll.
It's Canyon pun.
Mr. President, the view certainly is grand, but stop with the don't look down jokes, please.
I remember the devs of Super Mario World saying they really enjoyed the theme park Asian castle level in a haha only we can get away with this kind of way. Super Mario World doesn't have an Asian castle level.
Maintain military helicopters.
Is it like, are you talking about the last one?
Like Super Mario 3D World?
Like, I was thinking like Odyssey and like the last level in there. But like...
No, the Wii U game, they say. Yeah, Super Mario World is a different game. Super Mario World still holds up. It's still fun. I'm just going to skip half of this level.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of things you could do, which will definitely get you, like, more points and whatnot, but you can just skip all that.
Are you just gonna fly over there?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, alright. I enjoy the mid-air movement.
Me too.
Like the times when you just dink off of a tower instead of Goomba stopping it, the sound effect is really funny.
Are there more people over there?
I don't know, but you should probably check.
I don't see any.
No, you look fine.
So this level is also a bit funky, where
A musician was among the POWs you rescued. He was forced to perform to entertain the troops.
I'm not against, like, I'm happy we chose this level just because it's very visually different from the last couple.
Mr. President, there's only one target area remaining. A little longer
Wow,
and
already?
this ravine will be back in its original state.
yeah, As I said, the last level wasn't really great. It's kind of one of the, like, least interesting levels in the game.
Just gotta rescue some peeps.
I love how I love how there's, like, somebody made an oversized shotgun, but also made sure to be like, let's put some, like, wood on that.
It's like how they made, like, those station wagons with wood on them for a little while. You know, it's for the aesthetic.
Right.
Look, I feel like flying a helicopter in the Grand Canyon is, like, really dangerous. I don't know a lot about, you know, aerodynamics or pilot safety, but it just feels like a bad idea.
Mr. President, a fresh supply of troops is coming.
So this level's a little mean,
So
where
you're Metal Wolf, eh?
the bridges that you stand on
For Sir Richard.
Can blow up.
Can blow up, and the pit will just kill you, which means you have to start the entire level over again.
Going up against jokers like this is so tiring. I'll have to ask you to leave this stage before you get hurt.
Okay.
So we want to get off bridges as soon as possible.
Jesus. Get him! Oh, I thought you were going to use your super move.
I don't have it. The super move is the blue bar, actually.
Blue bar? I don't see it.
It's the circle.
Mr. President,
God, you are losing a lot of health.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Sir Richard! I'm sorry!
I wonder what anyone sees in the Vice President.
According to Chad, he's sexy.
Hurry up and move ahead.
I'm sorry! Sorry, Clear. Whoa. What the fuck was that? Like a guitar riff for 1 second.
Yeah, that was the musician.
Oh.
They have a guitar on them, they'll just be like, wow, when they get out.
It's acoustic, isn't it?
Nah.
Okay.
You think it was a Chinese air flute?
Every red-blooded American will have an acoustic guitar with an amp attached to it. You can tell because they've got alabaster souls. Like, I love that phrase, I just have no idea what it means. Cool.
So, I could try to be a cool guy and zoop up this hill and fly over there. I'm just gonna take the normal path.
Yeah.
Mainly because there's, I think, an alternate biz that allows us to get more dudes. Oh, it's just a weapon. Get some health back.
I think the game was all the voice actors' first jobs. Don't quote me on that, though. I mean, I
surprisingly
wouldn't be surprised.
incorrect. I think the first job for quite a few of them started in 1999.
See, actually, to get the true authenticity, this game used most of its voice actor budget on making the technology to resurrect old presidents. So each of them are voiced by an old president. John Quincy Adams has quite a feminine voice, so he was voicing Jody.
And take a gander at the heroic dive down to the Colorado River.
How do I eat without using my hands? I mean, I have to use them. That, like, I'm just forcing myself not to be working. Because, like, I literally need to use my hands for everything. Like, I gotta clean my fucking house, I gotta make food. But if I cannot type or work for a little while, it helps.
So energy pods will give you like max health. So
learn to use your feet like an American.
So, your reticle, if
Defense strength is high against
close enough
live
to
ammunition.
rockets, will actually like automatically lock on and shoot them out of the air. You can also try to destroy the targets, or try to destroy the thing that they're standing on, which they can do to you too.
Oh god.
The enemy will watch out somewhere in the California Bay.
What?
Nah, actually, they'll get stuck in the Hoover Dam.
California Bay does not connect to this river.
The enemy
New
has
ability,
been
Hoover
annihilated.
Dam. This is a giant
Finally,
shield I
peace
can
will
use
be
to
brought to
block the
Arizona.
bullets.
War really doesn't suit these lovely surroundings.
Jody. Nor someone as lovely as you.
Sure, whatever. Nice work, Mr. President.
Jody, I love you. Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
So we touched this on the test, but not actually in the mainstream. This game does have leaderboards.
It does.
Victory in the Grand Canyon proved to be significant. Without the enemy helicopter squadron to pin them down, the resistance fighters were able to continue their march. Peace had returned to Arizona, where folks came up with a saying, "Where there's a Wilson, there's a Wason." The man they had mocked as a rebel army major had elevated himself to presidential standing again, and people were starting to believe this man had a chance.
Jody, what's the situation on the ground across America?
In the West,
Everywhere.
areas where the army is pulling out are on the rise. But across the nation, the situation isn't so good.
Don't worry. I'll free the whole land soon enough. Any email from the resistance?
Yes, there is. The man's voice is as cool as ever. Please have a listen.
Metal Wolf, thank you. Our membership is steadily on the rise.
Oh, that voice
I
quality
love
is
that
so
there's-
good now.
They're just emailing each other.
Yeah.
More reliable, trustworthy sympathizers have joined our fight to revolt.
So is there ever a twist where this guy is this like the Secretary of State or something?
You know.
The
I'll
resistance
never tell.
leader sure is standing tough, isn't he?
It's Money Gold, also known by his alias
Now
Manny
I'll head
Manny
out to
Gold.
liberate the West.
Not yet. We're not there yet. Let's go.
The enemy force is apparently carrying out covert military campaigns based in a ghost town in the Phoenix suburbs.
Oh, this one.
The radar jamming
Why
facility
would they
for
be
their
doing
secret defense is set up in the town. Please
Yep,
destroy all
excuse me.
target areas in the above-ground buildings to knock out the radar
Oh,
jamming
thanks,
and avoid
Chinook.
surprise attacks from the
800
enemy.
bits for go find a dusty box of your favorite candy bar.
Hell yeah.
This mission goes by the call name My Darling Clementine Operation.
The only like
Shouldn't it be
dusty.
Operation.
What?
Sorry, go ahead.
The only dusty thing that I found that was like, oh man, this is great that I found it in the back in the middle of nowhere. Like, this is weird. I found like a really old like Yu-Gi-Oh card pack. That was one of my favorite things to find. Literally just like a solid film of dust on top.
Oof.
Yeah.
Good luck and Godspeed, Mr. President.
I'm not entirely sure how it got that way. Doesn't make too much sense. We can get some more gun.
I can't think of anything dusty, but on the note of like fun card game things, the show Zatch Bell had cards for it, and they came in this little book that was shaped like the Zatch Bell Momoto books they used as spell books, and it was a super cute, fun little card holder. And I don't know how to play that game, but I think it was set up where you'd have a whole deck, and you would set the order of the deck, and to use certain cards, you had to like a weak spell would force you to turn another page, and a strong spell would force you to turn like 4 pages. And I think you had to defeat your opponent's like deck master before you got to the end of your book. So the order of your deck was actually really important.
I do like those.
This is neat.
This will most likely be one of the last times I actually touch my inventory. Welcome to basically the end game layout. I might switch it up for like close to the end of the game, but that's basically it.
This place is pretty run down.
It's a
Like
bit
a town
antithetical.
in an old western. A radar jamming station is located here.
I mean, I'm down for a cowboy level, alright.
Seem limited. Let's mop this area up ASAP.
Someone says it's a little antithetical to have the asexual pride thing in the form of a heart, but whatever.
Jody,
No, it isn't.
Sorry, but these guys
Romance
might
and
slow
sexual
me down.
interest are different things.
Huh?
Major, Michael Wilson. You've tarnished the good name of the U.S. military and your reputation as a hero.
And now you'll die for it.
Yeah, here I go.
Whatever. This is like starring in John Ford's My Darling Clementine. Wanna find out who gets to play Wyatt Earp?
You know, I'll give the actor that one. There's no good way to read that line.
Western is fine, but since you're surrounded
Okay,
now,
this is a fun setup.
A musician was among the POWs you rescued. He was forced to sing the blues for the troops. Taking on all three at once
So,
could be bone-breaking.
you're supposed to run from these guys and then kind of fight them later.
Due to radar trouble. How about we make a fresh start by destroying the enemy's
because-
radar jamming facility?
Yeah, once you defeat their, like, radar jamming, they, like, become visible, and so your, like, guns can actually target them.
Okay. That's a fun setup. Piph, get out of here!
You probably should.
The fuselage damage rate is over 70%. Wyatt Earp would never have let it go this far. Oh, it's embarrassing just to call you Wyatt Earp.
Major!
I mean, it is, but I don't think for the reason you think.
You really are that good.
Aye.
Not Peyton, too.
How stupid!
I want that to be my last
Randy,
words.
Damn. It ain't over till it's over. Major! You!
So, what I'm gathering here is there was like a battle in Arizona and you were their, like,
6 feet under town,
their superior or something? What's the deep lore?
Oh boy, that's it.
Not too good. I'm not the hero type. I'm just doing my job as president.
Yeah. This is a president job.
All those times that Trump is said to be going to play golf in Florida using taxpayer dollars? Nah, he's getting in his mech and he's doing his president job. President Wilson had taken the West by storm. With no legs left to stand on, Hawk's coup d'etat forces had no choice but to go on the retreat. The resistance was gaining steam, and all at once, cities across America began to rise up and fight back. Thanks to Michael Wilson's huffing and puffing, the winds of freedom were blowing again, and stronger than ever. However, Richard Hawk had a black heart and unwavering ambition. Soon the course of history would do yet another about-face.
Jody, what's the situation across America?
That's such a broad question. America is so big.
Yes!
Yeah!
So happy!
Hell yeah, Jody!
This should kick the resistance movement into high gear.
I can't wait.
You got a voicemail from the resistance, Mr. President.
Metal Wolf, thanks to your efforts, the stage is set for a united revolt in the West. I'm considering moving ahead. However, before this takes place, I'd like to meet you in person to talk. I'll contact you with the details later.
Mr. President, what do you think?
I've been wanting to meet him too.
I am a big fan!
So let's get you two together.
Sure. But before that, we'll head east.
He's like a 7-year-old.
Well,
you'll get to see your friend. Yes.
He's like he could be the writer of this game, who I have to assume is 7.
Until we take back all of America, there's no rest for the wicked.
God, I hope we meet the
President.
resistance leader, and that's not like he's not like recording his voice on low quality equipment. That's just actually what his voice sounds like.
Well, Jody, at long last, we head east. We'll reach the East Coast in a flash.
Are we just skipping the Midwest?
Metal Wolf, planning on wiping out New York this time? You enemy of the people, I, Richard Hawk, won't let you get away with it. I, Richard Hawk, will uphold American justice without fail.
Yeah! Suck on my missile punch!
Boy, this is just happening, huh?
Yeah, you'll never guess what's happening.
Dream sequence? Are they destroying the Twin Towers? Because that might not be the best time to... Oh.
I won't lose. And the reason is
Oh, is this a flashback?
And the last great American hero.
I love those terrible helicopter models with their like 11 motors or rotors.
How do you like me now? Let's rumble. Eat my flame of justice.
He got me!
Justice is always victorious in the end. Long live the USA!
I don't know what the hell happened.
Good evening. This is an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, where freedom in the United States wasn't built in a day. Good news. Finally, the evil has been crushed.
Oh, well, it was a good game.
Metal Wolf, who suddenly showed up in New York,
bad end.
was thoroughly beaten to a pulp by Richard Hawk, piloting a special heavy mobile armor unit. He annihilated the evil, occurring at the same time from a confidential covert operation. We have also learned that underground terrorists and Metal Wolf sympathizers in hiding.
Dangerous area!
In succession all around the country. Although martial law will continue until we are sure that your safety can be...
Did you actually get a bad end?
No.
Okay. For today and today only, let's celebrate this victory. This has been an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, your Freedom Point Man.
Metal Wolf crushed? And those phony visuals. What's with that? The special effects don't even beat a Hollywood B movie.
Richard's up to his old tricks again.
That's right, it was all CGI. Couldn't you tell?
No! No! CGI!
Mr. President, according to the Special Intelligence Group, news from the anti-coup d'etat forces has ceased. Actually, we've lost contact with the resistance leader too.
We have?
It appears all the resistance activities have gone south.
Jody, those that died are imposters. I am still here.
So?
Believe in your own justice. I won't lose to that false prophet. And the reason is because I'm the President of the United States of America.
Mr. President.
There's no time for self-pity. Jody, get me up to speed on the situation in the East.
Hawk's military government was waging war against more than just the resistance. The American people, too, came under fire.
Hawk called it the Citizen Re-Education Program, but what it really entailed was the surrender of all private property to a government-controlled rationing system. U.S. citizens were trafficked overseas or used as lab rats and weapons testing.
Yeah, man.
To what end? The weak and unworthy were trampled down. Soon, all of America and its freedoms were paved over by thick, I read this as thick, oppressive ape shit of tyranny. It was Hawk's eugenic wet dream, an unprecedented constitutional crisis, but also the next chapter of President Wilson's saga as he continued to rise up against his former running mates' injustices.
All right. So we got...
Okay, we got Chicago, we got Houston, we got, I don't know, Orlando, and
Miami.
New York. Miami. How about we let chat decide? Chat, where should we go, chat?
Chicago? New York?
I don't think that's where Houston is. I'm pretty sure that's close. What is that labeled as? Yeah, it's Houston. Houston's pretty near the water. Oh, it's a pretty even split. I heard destroy Florida, and when you phrase it that way, how can we say no? Yeah, I think Miami's winning.
All right.
The enemy force sends out over 1,000 citizens a day from Miami, trafficking them into overseas white slavery.
I don't even want to touch that.
The command
Hope you
cruiser
had
moored on
that
the
sink
coast
in for a
directs troops to the
bit.
Atlantic. It has long-range, high-powered missiles on board. Stay down. Many helicopters join the defense. Concentrate your attacks on intercepting these cannonballs. The objective is the destruction of all target areas and the command cruiser. This mission goes by the call name... A lovely and clear sea once more. Good luck and Godspeed, Mr. President.
Jesus. Alright, I'm gonna wash this sticky shit off my hands while you... Oh, no, okay, you're done. I forgot. You already did your loadout.
Yeah. You still watch
Enemy forces
that, I guess.
occupy Miami Beach. That battle
If it's
cruiser
sex,
is the
man,
command ship
it's good.
protecting the Atlantic Ocean troops in this area. Attack the cruiser and the coup d'etat forces leisurely enjoying their holiday. And sink them to the bottom of this grand ocean.
Copy that. For their
Yeah,
sakes,
right.
I hope they enjoyed their last R&R.
The Navy cruiser will fire powerful long-range missiles. You'll need constant warning, Mr. President. Bombers are approaching. Be on alert.
This is very Florida. This music is hysterical.
The bomber group seems to have received a request from the target area and is on their way. The bombing will be dangerous. You should sever the reinforcements ahead of time.
A musician was among the POWs you rescued. He was surely forced to play the ukulele on the beach.
What a horrible fate! Jody, these people were being sold into slavery.
The long-range
Hey,
missiles from
don't
that
freaking
Navy
lock me
cruiser
into a
are on
cutscene,
a
do
collision
that.
course. Please do
Our
not be
cutscene
caught
technique
off guard.
worked perfectly!
Long-range
Richard!
missiles. Watch out for aerial attacks.
Some scientists were among the POWs you rescued. They were worked to the
Jeez.
bone without any vacation maintaining that battle cruiser.
I actually like this level's setup.
It's actually very, very nice.
That's far enough, Metal Wolf. That voice, is that the Eagle of the Atlantic, Brigadier General Robert Forrester?
Your former commander.
Metal Wolf, I don't know what you're up to. Or who is inside
end.
there. But I can tell you this. You're public enemy number one.
Are you drunk?
Going head-to-head with this kind of firepower isn't the smart way. Start by crushing the gun battery.
Metal Wolf. I am not sure about this one.
I don't know what's going on
They
personally.
won't withdraw. Sectors 1 through 5 are flooded. Sailors, abandon your post! Hurry and escape! Grab any wounded and run!
I killed them all!
We military men will never be cowardly lambs. We're brave lions until the end.
Yeah, boats aren't that hard to
Now
sink.
carry out your duty. Carry out your own justice.
What is going on?
Farewell, General!
No! You guys, I am crying.
Battlecruiser has sunk.
No, it hasn't. They're like 3 foot deep water.
Again.
Yeah, for those who survived.
Great going, Mr. President.
You want to take that read again, Jody?
Oh man.
She's having a great time, but she knows he's grieving, but she can't hide her excitement over the explosions. The sinking of Hawk's command cruiser dealt a crushing blow to his Atlantic Marine forces and put an end to his heinous trafficking of American citizens out of Miami. Okay, it's so, like, pointlessly evil. As for the sunken cruiser, it became a rich ecosystem that teems with marine life, including a new species of coral, which I am sure you have heard of. See, I can't get the feeling out of my head that, like, this... I know this is from the ending where we win, but this is so propaganda in the other direction that I feel like nothing changed. It's just that, DNN changed which side it was propaganding for. Scientists named it Sea Forester in honor of Brigadier General Robert Forrester. The missteps that ended his life bear remembering. I can't stop thinking about bears. Let his tragedy never be repeated. What?
Did you get in touch with the resistance?
Did you do that?
No, still no word. Maybe he was captured by coup d'etat forces.
No, he'd never let that happen. I'm sure he's out there waiting to make his move. I must see him. I made him a promise.
Oh, Mr. President.
You didn't.
I'm off to the next battlefront.
2 words.
All right. What next?
All right, chat. Oh, luckily we managed to capture all of Mississippi and Alabama, in addition to Miami.
That beach covered pretty much the entire coast until it got to there.
I see Chicago first. Yeah, 2 people said Chicago. It's too old.
The enemy force has concentrated strength in the center of Chicago.
So I'm from Chicago, so we'll see how accurate this is.
I think you'll be pleased.
Re-educate the citizens.
We get to blow it up. I'll be pleased.
For the vice president. Though there are many target areas, it is possible to annihilate the enemy by effectively using the train to move from building to building.
Oh, it's a
Destroy
train
the
level.
Target areas and
Oh my
let the
god, you get to
citizens
ride
wake
on
up
the
to
L
their
train
challenge
and
of
blow shit
transporting
up.
the sword. This mission goes by the call name Chicago Daybreak. Good luck and Godspeed, Mr. President.
Let's give a save.
Enemy forces occupy Chicago. Destroy all the target areas and liberate the town of Chicago.
Copy that.
Isn't Chicago supposed to be somewhere near New York? No, man. It's in the center of the country.
Well, if it isn't the heinous terrorist, public enemy number 1, Richard! Oh, you've done excellent work, Michael. How about a reward to show my appreciation?
Oh. You'll get more of him
Gas
soon.
will annihilate the city in 5 minutes. What? And Metal Wolf will be blamed for the slaughter of Chicago. Have a nice day, or not, Michael.
Each target area has started up their
What a
poison
beautiful
gas control.
performance.
If the density of the poison gas exceeds 181 parts per million, human death is guaranteed. Destroy the target areas before the density reaches 181 ppm. What's that?
Coming to you live from the skies over Chicago, this is DNN's Peter McDonald. Using poison gas as his weapon of choice, Metal Wolf seeks to obliterate the city of Chicago. That coward! Even cruelty has a limit. But rest assured, I have faith that the U.S. military will put a stop to this.
That journalist is up to his old misinformed tricks again.
Please hurry, Mr. President.
I am noticing that Metal Wolf is destroying the poison, and the military is attempting to stop him. Good job, U.S. military. Wait!
Mr. President, that's a tank filled with poisonous gas neutralizer. From destroying the poison gas source, the poison gas density has gone down.
Well, it's
But don't let down your guard. Hurry up,
It's
Mr.
nice of
President.
Richard to leave anti-poison.
Metal Wolf has boarded a train. He hasn't even bought a fare. He's looking for a free ride.
Don't be so picky.
Wow.
But this will save us some time, Mr. President.
Some scientists were among the POWs you rescued.
This
They
is
were
very
probably used to
silly.
research poison
It's a
gas.
literal rail shooter.
It's too bad that it'll actually pull you away and also freaking force you out of the map, which actually will end your run.
Oh.
You do not want to actually take the ride.
This is a fairly faithful recreation of Chicago, actually.
Mr. President.
What? No.
Mr. President, are you turning your back on America? Mr. President!
I hit the...
Way to go, Piph. You abandoned Chicago.
I'm sorry.
Enemy forces occupy Chicago.
I hit the exit zone a little too
Liberate the town of
close.
Chicago.
Mr. President! That's really unfair of a game with maps as open and indistinguishable as this to have exit zones like that don't even give you a warning of leaving.
They do, it's just very short.
Human death is guaranteed.
So-
Destroy the target areas before the density reaches 181 ppm. What's that? From destroying the poison gas source, the poison gas density has gone down. But don't let down. What's that? Mr. President, that's a tank filled with poisonous gas neutralizer. The soldiers must be tired if they left that out in such an obvious place.
What's this? Metal Wolf has boarded a train. He hasn't even bought a fare. He's looking for a free ride.
Don't be so picky. But this will save us some time, Mr. President.
Some scientists were among the POWs you rescued. They were probably used to research poison gas.
There are 5 target areas remaining. Hurry on to the next one, Mr. President.
So I have to not catch the edge there. You can kind of see it on the map, like where I'm supposed to and not supposed to go. Can't remember if they actually drop items or not. It's been a while.
That drawbridge is a symbol of the city and its rivers. Seeing it open is quite a sight, but if we can't cross, we'll be in a jam. Hurry up!
Here it is.
The defense strength is high against live ammunition. A musician was among the POWs you rescued. He was forced to sing the blues for the troops.
These actually explode, doing lots of damage to me and everything around it. There's also more explosive things.
Not again! Another dire blow to the military. The military.
I'm back. Have we destroyed Chicago?
Pretty close. We skipped the death zone. Sorry, I usually don't take the train because it just kind of fuckles with like the route.
Yeah.
But I think I can recover from that.
For anyone who doesn't know, I am from the suburbs of Chicago and have a deep disdain for all of Chicagoland. I think it's gray and miserable and very depressing. And I have had comically bad luck anytime I've driven into the city.
According to our own DNN human fatality density measuring device, the density of poison gas in the city has already exceeded 50 parts per million. Metal Wolf is a villain down to his last mecha bolt.
One target area remains. The final spot, Mr. President.
Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, I literally can't get this sticky shit off my hands now. It's too sticky.
An utter nightmare. The U.S. military has been demolished once again by Metal Wolf. However, his plan to gas the town ended in failure. Could it
Good
be that
job,
the hand
military.
of God reached down to save us?
You are a terrible reporter.
I just looked into the eyes of Metal Wolf. Any further reporting is too dangerous. Our news team is seeking refuge. But our coverage of these events will continue.
I was playing with the glue they used to keep wrappers on drink
the pen
bottles.
is still mightier than the sword. This has been Peter McDonald for DNN.
Huh. I'll say one thing for the guy. At least his misreporting is consistent.
As long as the city is safe, who cares?
The end. Washing up. Try using washing up liquid instead of soap. Normally helps if you have sticky hands. What is washing up liquid?
Huh.
That sounds like soap to me. The Chicago gassing was only the first part of many Hawk had planned. If the American people would not to submit to him, he thought, then they could be slaughtered by him. Fortunately, I am professional. Fortunately, President Wilson stepped in and put a halt to these unspeakable acts. Among the Chicago survivors was a little girl who told reporters at the time, "As the gas was closing in, I looked up and saw God." No close quote. And you know what? And you know what? God is made of steel.
Ooh, let me just very quickly get my own little screenshot of that. God is made of steel.
Jody, what's the situation
hang
on the
on.
ground across America?
What's up?
What are you washing up liquid? You call hand soap washing up liquid? Oh, the dish soap.
Yeah.
Why would you call it washing up liquid?
I don't know.
That's like what we would make fun of you guys for calling it as a joke. Be like, oh, you call fries chips or whatever. What do you call dish soap? Washing up liquid. Because you use it to wash up, but it's soap for dishes. Washing up liquid is such a clunky name for it. Laundry sauce.
Oh, if they called it laundry sauce, I would respect that.
That would be fine.
Cruel oppression of U.S. citizens still continues all over the nation.
I guess neither of us will see any time off soon.
That feel when Americans call niddlety whittlety shibblety slippities sweaters. Dish marinara.
I'm off to
It's
the next
called
battle
other
zone.
languages, Jello.
Update me on
No,
the
it
situation,
isn't.
Joe.
They're English.
Yes, Mr. President.
Okay, we got...
I guess you gotta do Houston, I think, because the other one's too close. You gotta save your revenge in New York for last.
The enemy army has dried up the nation's resources and put the people on a rationing system to construct a spaceplane launch and landing base in Houston. React swiftly as paratrooper reinforcements are predicted to be dropped in from Super Assault heavy attack helicopters that defend the skies and the base. The objective is total destruction of all target areas and the Super Assault heavy attack Elijah 1 helicopter. This mission goes by the call name Winner Takes All, Elijah 1 versus Metal Wolf. Good luck and Godspeed, Mr. President.
So they're building like a space plane base. Do they just hear the term Houston, we have a problem, and assume that America's launch base is in Houston?
Yeah.
This is DNN's Peter McDonald reporting. I'm coming to you live today from a U.S. military base in the outskirts of Houston,
directly
Texas.
into your ear.
Scarce natural resources sent from the Space Plane Center are collected and kept here. The U.S. military is collectively managing these goods under martial law. Acting as the defense for this area is this Super Assault Heavy Attack Elijah 1 helicopter.
The blades are spinning
Take
too
a
slow.
look at this firepower.
I wouldn't.
44mm M197 anti-aircraft guns, 80mm Bofors anti-aircraft cannons, two 10mm grenade launchers, and finally 12 missile containers. In addition to this heavy arsenal, it has the capacity to hold over 100 soldiers. A veritable flying fortress. As long as the Elijah 1 is on the scene, Metal Wolf get off so easily.
To be fair, we call it a toasty rather than a grilled sandwich. That's fine. Someone requests you blowing up the helicopter if you're able to. Like the news helicopter.
The Elijah 1 appears to be dropping parachute
I think
chutes
it might
from
be
its
close
cargo
enough that I
bay.
can hit it.
It'll be trouble when those reinforcements land, destroy the target areas while shooting down the enemy dropping into the battle.
So, this one's a little annoying, but it's still a decent map.
Those must be some new kinds of weapons. They're being dropped one after another from the Elijah 1. Metal Wolf will have no choice but to deal with this firepower.
Cool! Frosties are the, they're like the chocolate shakes you can get from Wendy's.
An elite paratrooper sniper unit and the pride of the U.S. Airborne is joining the fight. They're dropping into battle one after the other. This is a scene of biblical proportions, a modern-day David and Goliath.
Okay,
I can't
Mr.
reach him.
President, let's shoot them down.
What do you mean a modern-day David and Goliath? Why would you say that? I'm confused, news guy. David and Goliath is a story about the little guy winning. You want the little guy to lose.
You should knock out the launch bay doors that drop the
Oh
bombs.
no!
First, start by
All right, I'm gonna go get my washing up liquid. Be back in a tickety boo.
Of the smart bomb, Mr. President. The performance of the smart bomb seems to have fallen off. If there's no guidance device, it's flying blind.
were among the POWs you rescued. They were held against their will to research space resources.
Space resources.
Alright, the washing up liquid did not work. Still in a bit of a sticky wicket. America does have weird words though. What the fuck is a toboggan? It's just like a sled. It's not really a thing people like use in daily stuff though.
Not even people who use toboggans call it toboggans. Usually just go sled.
Yeah. Sled. Bobsled.
Take a look at that. The U.S. ground forces have been totally decimated by the hand of Metal Wolf. But we still have the speed ace up our sleeve. That trump card being the Super Assault Heavy Attack Elijah 1 helicopter.
Damn.
Pew, 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 pew.
From Metal Wolf's fierce assault, the Elijah 1 fuselage has been damaged, but the Elijah 1 was designed to withstand damage from 155mm anti-aircraft cannons. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. Hang tough, Elijah 1.
The Elijah 1 is useless. It's just a giant target. You might even call it a big moving target.
Huh. Do not summon him.
Damage to the Elijah 1 has become intense, but the Elijah 1's... What's this? The Super Assault Elijah
God, did that thing hit you
helicopter.
one time?
No.
The helicopter
It just
the
moved to
military
position.
said could never be shot down. This aerial fortress has been destroyed by one single foe dressed in mobile attack armor. But I will never give up hope. And
I
hope
will attack him.
never yield to violence. I believe in American justice and my journalistic convictions. Because yes, the pen is still mightier than the sword. This has been Peter McDonald for DNN.
Hey, Mr. Journalist! Take a good
Die!
long look. I think it's time for a new pen.
God, I wish he shot him after saying that. God, what are damage points? You always get a 0. In retaking the space... Sorry, go ahead.
It's taking damage. Like, how much... so, if I take enough damage, it subtracts from the damage score. So,
okay.
I took too much damage.
In retaking the Spaceplane Center, President Wilson put an end to Hawk's control of the nation's aerospace resources. The spoils were funneled to cities across America, effectively ending Hawk's rationing system. Hawk is just being evil for no reason. As freedom rang from sea to shining sea, I saw the smiles on each of the American people's faces. It took hours, and I started to wonder, have I been getting this man all wrong?
What's the pulse of the nation say about all this?
Citizens have already begun to wake up to the Vice President's evil intentions.
What sheeple?
They couldn't stage a revolt in time.
I'll take back the nation soon.
Oh, all right.
Full speed ahead.
I'm with you all the way, Mr. President.
Alright.
Alright. Like, I find the term torch for flashlight silly, but, like, it's fine. It's like, you know, the same number of syllables, it makes sense. Washing up liquid is the worst Britishism I've ever heard. It's so long and so clunky and so dumb.
The enemy force experiments on the people of New York with unmanned super weaponry. It treats the 8 million citizens who run about trying to escape like guinea pigs. Information has been obtained that energy power stations are supplying the massive weaponry.
I hope you're ready for this, Jello.
Before taking the huge weapons head-on, destroy the energy supply facilities. The objective is the destruction of all target areas and the massive arms. This mission goes by the call name Operation We Love NYC. Good luck and Godspeed, Mr. President.
We're gonna very quickly invest our stuff into railguns. Just as much money as we can. Right. Now that that's out of the way.
Enemy forces occupy New York City. The coup d'etat forces are experimenting with an unmanned super weapon.
This is the hardest mission in the game.
Destroy the target areas along with the super weapons.
Talk about massive arm. What is that? Carnival ride?
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Michael. How's life treating you?
Richard.
What do you think of my cute little pet? Thanks to him, the people of New York City are right now festively running around and trying to escape. It's like a big old carnival. It's like Mardi Gras in New York or something.
You are sick.
Take a bite from its super energy wave phasers. It'll get you high enough to reach heaven.
Richard!
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Richard's voice is incredible. My God, I don't know if I can defeat Richard. Look how many feet his robot has.
This will be dangerous. Mr. President, the fuselage damage
Well, there goes
is
5
about
bips of
that
my health.
This energy wave firepower
Jesus.
from a power
This is the
recharge
opening.
facility. Each target area obtains powerful electromagnetic armor energy. The origin of the energy supply should be cut off. Mr. President, the fuselage damage
I'm probably
rate is
gonna
over
die.
70%. Overgrown daddy. If you don't want to see heaven in person, you'd better run. Estate.
There you go. That was a
What is
really
even
bad
hitting you?
start. There are missiles that it fires out, as well as like tiny things that like landmines that will just jump at you.
Those phony news stories, Mr. President.
As I said, one of the hardest levels in the game.
Enemy forces
Christ.
occupy New York City. The coup d'etat forces are experimenting with an unmanned super weapon. If what he said is true, this
So we want
will
to
be
immediately
dangerous.
get behind a
Run away
wall,
for now, Mr. President.
so that doesn't immediately shut down most of our
Daddy
HP.
Longlegs gets its energy wave firepower from a power recharge facility. Each target area obtains powerful electromagnetic armor energy. The origin of the energy supply should be cut off first. Mr. President, that Daddy Longlegs electromagnetic armor is tough. Destroy the target areas first, so you can weaken its electromagnetic armor.
So the point of this level is to go around and to destroy, like, its quote-unquote armor towers.
Yeah.
It increases the amount of damage it can take per go, and it's constantly, like, following you around the entirety of the map.
Mr. President, there are 5 areas remaining.
You can also make it not have its weapon either if you get to like the end of the level and blow up that thing, but it takes a while. Because it's like, this big thing over here.
With Times Square being remodeled like this, they must be out of their minds. Let's destroy it and weaken Daddy Longlegs.
What?
A musician was among the POWs you rescued. Once again,
Yep, there is.
there will be music
This is why you don't go
on
after
Broadway.
this, because
Some
he'll
scientists
just kill
were
you
among
if you
the
try.
POWs you rescued. They were used to research weapons of mass destruction.
I think I need to go and try to find some specific bipples. Like, I might need to increase my blue gauge before I can engage.
Voice actor question. If there's no punctuation in a written line in a game, but it makes sense for you to add punctuation, do you add your own, like the VA your helper's doing, or do you just go along with the script? I think it's better to just read whatever sounds natural. Sometimes, if you're working with a writer who like has access to the script, they'll literally just change the punctuation midway through. But yeah.
Oh, that wasn't a hold on. How close is Boreal? Pretty far away.
I should have picked something a little faster. I keep forgetting what he sounds like. He's got such a weird read.
That overgrown Daddy Longlegs is getting close. If you don't, Daddy Longlegs never eat.
Oh.
What a show! This is more spectacular than a Broadway musical. The enemy has been destroyed. Manhattan will soon be back to its glorious
Manhattan.
Yeah, New York City is, and always was, built to last. Right, Jody?
Ooh.
Of course, Mr.
Wow.
President.
Was that the final boss?
No.
Richard! Richard! Having ousted Hawk's army from nearly every corner of America, President Wilson set a course for the tyrant's last bastion, Washington, D.C. and the White House. The president had no idea of the cowardly trap Hawk had lay in store for him and his team on Air Force One.
The enemy force in the east also started withdrawing.
Did they?
Dude, what the fuck? Calling apple juice cider is weird. We don't. Those are different drinks.
It sure has been
Yeah.
a long road to victory.
Yes, it has.
All that remains is your home.
The White House.
Mr. President, when this battle is over, I'm taking a paid vacation. I haven't seen my parents for a while, and you know how it is.
I mean, all right.
That's fine with
Seems
me.
like
You deserve some extra time off, too.
I can't wait.
Last stop, Washington, D.C.
Yes, Mr. President. The Information Management Department just contacted me. The coup d'etat forces are making an announcement on national television.
Dear fellow Americans, good evening. This is an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, where the password is No More Metal Wolf.
What do they mean
Who
password?
escaped from military custody through cruel trickery, continues to agitate various parts of the country. Sympathizers to these acts appear to be on the rise. As an American, this is most regrettable. Please try to remember the names and faces of any of the ringleaders who instigated this terrorism. a heart of justice is a heart that loves America. Surrender now, while your crimes are still not so serious.
What?
If you refuse surrender, based on Article 48, Clause 4 in the newly enacted U.S. Constitution, Metal Wolf sympathizers and/or any blood relatives removed 4 times or less, as well as schoolmates in all educational institutions, such as high schools and universities, as well as any co-workers or associates. For any and all related people, a public execution will be carried out. So,
what?
To any terrorist sympathizers, if an ounce of justice still remains in you, give up on that man and surrender by 5 p.m. today. This is our final ultimatum. This has been an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, where the password is, "We love Richard Hawk."
Yeah, there's some cider discourse going on, and so I don't have to type, I'll just say it here. I think in the UK, cider is alcoholic. In the US, there's apple juice, which is like just standard, very, very little of the actual fruit, a pretty good amount of sugar or something, and then like apple juice. Then cider, there's hard cider, which is just what you guys call cider, and then there's like a non-alcoholic cider, which is like a little spicier, but not alcoholic. Like, I don't know. I always think of it being served at like harvest things and around Halloween and in fall. It tastes a little more raw. It's a little more bitter. I literally can't find an official definition for what it is.
Yeah. Basically, it is a different kind of apple juice in...
People keep saying carbonated. I have never had carbonated cider in my whole fucking life.
Yeah, I've also not had carbonated cider.
Yeah, it's just spiced apple juice is cider here.
It's also less sweet. Kinda has a like more body to it, like just kind of... It tastes like there's more apple in it than apple juice.
Yeah, the only official definition I could find was that one, like the Massachusetts Department of Apples, which I assume will also be a level in the game we're playing, says that apple, like there's a different amount of raw apple in it. So it's basically the difference between like really pulpy orange juice and really, really filtered orange juice, but for apples. Cider is typically carbonated in the UK. All right. And like, I can never tell which of you guys are chiming in from like Europe and which of you are chiming in to be like, oh no, here's a correction for American cider. Cider is never, like even alcoholic cider usually isn't carbonated in the US. Cider isn't carbonated in the UK. Who are you crazy people who think cider has carbonation? Anyway. Oh, right, it's me. Jody Crawford and the other members of the president's team had abandoned him. Richard Hawk's despicable maneuvering had left them no choice. It would be unfair to brand them as traitors. They were forced to back away from what was right to protect the people they loved. Wait. No, wait. Did I fuck that up, or did I read that correctly?
We're continuing.
Okay. At the same time, the president was alone, and the man who did it to him had come to rub salt in his wounds.
A little awkward.
What do you think cider is?
Richard!
Poor Michael. Left all by your lonesome.
Richard! What changed you?
Michael, America has gotten too fat for her own good. These incapable pigs are eating this nation alive. The death of these freeloaders, leaving only the capable behind, will help me create a new nation.
Richard, you...
Oh, and Michael, I forgot to tell you, but your presidential staff, those backstabbing idiots, well, I've decided they can die too.
You!
If you want to help those pigs, come to Liberty Island and watch those worms wiggle in vain. See you when I see you, Richard!
It's amazing.
You good for the, you still on cider stuff, or we,
I'm
good to go?
ready to go.
Alright.
Richard
to
cured
rescue my
everyone
men.
of cider discourse.
And the reason is because I'm the president of this great United States of America.
Alright. You heard it here. I am going to develop a gun. I'm going to get one gun.
Yeah, the reason I was so hung up on cider is not because I was like, man, what's the difference between US and UK? I literally couldn't even figure out what, like, people in the United States were saying cider was.
No one knows.
The cider I've dranked. Washington liquid.
Mr. President. Why
Please
did you
tell me
come to
she's being
save
held
us
prisoner up
after
there.
we betrayed you.
Yeah.
Jody,
What?
I can't turn my back on a friend. And the reason is, I'm the president of the United States.
Mr. President,
I love-
don't come near. It's a trap.
Hey there, Michael. Are you still playing?
Hey, what's up,
Richard!
You just don't get it, do you? Freedom is dead. You and your men and this symbol of freedom will all perish.
No! The Statue of Liberty!
Drop your weapons. If I direct these missiles behind me, that goddess of liberty and your cute little secretary will all be blown to smithereens.
This is very silly.
Round 2! This wild dog of war is on the move, Michael. He'll bite you if you don't move it. Now, hightail it out of here. Oh,
Bridge
I
goes
almost
down.
forgot. Time for my afternoon tea. Nothing like sipping some delicious Darjeeling tea and watching you getting your clock cleaned.
Wow.
You know, like human.
Apaches!
Not just Apaches, Mr. President.
We are freedom!
You're alive!
Us resistance soldiers are known for our resilience.
I know you can't recognize it, but that is distorted voice man from the emails.
Oh.
He'll be out of moves soon. But, kill a crook? Nice shooting, Mr. President.
Yeah, no, I really couldn't recognize that guy.
Yeah! Take that! Ah!
Why? Why are you doing that?
Now he's ready for the scrappy.
Mr. President, my boys were successful in saving your princess. I'll connect you.
Mr. President? How can I ever...
Jody?
Yes?
Sorry to be late.
The lame thing to say.
From the skies above Liberty Island, this is DNN's Peter McDonald reporting. To viewers in America, make that the world. Did you witness the truth reported to you live on DNN? Did you witness Vice President Richard Hawk's dreadful nature revealed? As I have been stressing all along, Metal Wolf was the truly righteous one.
Fuck you, guy.
While the world may have doubted you, I always believed in you.
Get the hell out of here, Otacon.
And thank you, Michael Wilson.
Bye, Fox News.
Whatever.
Whatever. Oh, hey. Got an S rank on that. That was the day I realized the pen isn't truly mightier than the sword. Not if people like me fail to wield it justly. The president's team were back aboard Air Force One and had been cleared of any wrongdoing. I think we did commit some war crimes, though. Now, their sights were once again firmly set on the White House. Their campaign to free America was entering its final phase.
Mr. President,
Jody.
Yes, what is it, Mr. President?
You sure you don't need any more time off?
Cheeky bastard.
Oh, yes, Mr. President, I've had enough.
Now time to take back the last piece of ground.
Of course. You know where that is.
The White House.
We didn't rescue all those other states.
The enemy
All right.
seems to be concentrating their power around the White House. An overwhelming number of defense forces, unlike any yet seen, are predicted to be on hand. The shape of this underground base is highly complicated. There is a strong possibility that the target area is closely coordinated, skillfully attacked to prevent reinforcements and coordination between target areas. This is the granddaddy battle of them all. Annihilate the target areas.
Is
and
this
take
the
back
last
your White
level?
House, sir. This mission goes by the call
I was
name.
debating back and forth to call this the last level, but in
home.
reality,
Operation White
no,
House.
this is not the last level.
Good luck. and
Mission title,
Godspeed, Mr.
Fight
President.
House. Time to reuse some assets.
Kinda, yeah.
What are you guys fighting for? I would love to see how Richard convinced an army to follow him.
Let's party. It's good to be home.
Very quick, let's party.
You really expect me to use the back door to my own house?
Scientists were among the POWs you...
The above-ground route has been sealed off. But if you take back the underground base, the enemy will surrender and open the barrier. Now aim for the target areas. Now get out there and rock their world.
Do you really think a riot shield's gonna help you, random guy? Against the mech that blew up. Oh, jeez. I love that they never explain why you have mechs. It's just like, yeah, just whatever. Oh. When guns don't work, use the most American body part.
the foot.
America, put a boot in your ass.
Put a boot, America. That's we ass last.
America, boot and ass in yours.
Gotta get that extra bullets. This way. These are flamethrowers and landmines and all sorts of bad things.
Ignore. Ignore. Ignore.
That doors.
No, football makes more sense than soccer.
Let's destroy the targets releasing the poisonous gas before the density reaches 181 ppm.
Not the ppm.
Oh, wow. Oh, the ppm is going up way faster. Yep. I don't really understand who this would be poisoning. Does your ship not have its own air supply?
3 target areas remain. Which do you want to destroy next? Mr. President, the poisonous gas has been stopped completely due to the target areas being eliminated.
We got that.
Mr. President, by destroying the poison gas, there is no more poison gas. Mr. President, the air is clean again. We won't have to worry about breathing Richard's foul air.
So,
Mr. President.
You can probably see that they are actually reusing a lot of what the levels were beforehand. Kind of just like a mini motif of each mechanic thing.
Yeah.
I kinda like it.
How many people has this president killed? It doesn't matter how many people I kill. It's about how many Americans I save, because I'm the president of the United States of America. No boost, Piph.
You are experiencing
you can actually use like boosts, but it will actually use up your shield instead because you're overheating.
Oh, okay. God, that help cry is so bad.
It's pretty bad.
Help! Help! Oh yeah, I'm sorry. And the reason is, I'm the president. I like to imagine that Michael had, like, because he doesn't have a personality. His personality is that he is the president. He's been this way since he was born. And he's just like, because I'm going to be the president.
Danger, Jello. Danger.
The enemy surrendered at long last.
They could have just kept that door shut.
No, they surrendered. I thought they surrendered.
No, man. That was just a joke.
Mr. President, watch out for landmines in the passageway. That's an anti-special mobile suit landmine, which was popular during the Arizona insurrection.
Lore! Mr. President, you're abandoning the American people.
They're ready for the boss.
Were we lured out?
Oh, right.
They did that to the White House. They shouldn't call it the White House. They should call it the Fight House.
Don't get distracted, Jody. Time to redecorate.
You can't keep distracting me with your funny jokes, Jody.
Fast and to the point.
Okay, Dad.
God. He's back. They were nice enough to repair the dad statue.
Armored exterior. A scaredy cat missile is being protected in a sturdy shelter. When the shelter opens, that's your chance to attack.
Welcome home, Michael. But why shoot at your father?
This is so weird.
Don't shoot, Michael.
Michael.
You were so cute when you were little, Michael.
What? You're shooting my butt cheek,
Remember
Michael.
your sense of justice, Michael.
Oops.
Dad!
Sorry about that, Dad.
I'm so happy you know about this and can show it off, Piph.
It is fantastic. Also, a normal jump cannot get up there. You need to, like, very specifically use a very hidden thing where you use the boost while standing still to hover slightly more than a jump.
Did you get a gun that shoots American flag balls from your dad?
That one is an ice flamethrower.
Please use that.
It's not very good, but I'll use it.
Always remember, my son, I've got an ice flamethrower hidden in my ass.
So there's a life bar for the Fight House and the White House. You can actually shoot the White House and destroy it.
I love that it's called the Fight House. It's so dumb. It's so silly.
Out of here.
Shoot! This seems like a perfect time to use your iced flamethrower. Okay.
It's back at home.
The White House is almost back to its handsome self again. Mr. President, let's finish this.
If you destroy the White House, do you get a bad ending?
You lose. You have to start the level over again. So you have to, like, chip at the edges of these so I don't, like, over-hit and hit the White House. Because the White House cannot take much damage. There we go. Again, you don't have to destroy, like, everything, you just have to destroy most of
You're
it.
home at long last.
And here to stay.
Love that American flag.
I'm back, America.
What an enormously thick American flag.
What a thick American flag.
I love that it's called President Points.
It's good.
The White House was back in the hands of the American people. At long last, the United States had won back its freedom. However, the mastermind of its misery remained at large. The stage had been set for the final clash to determine whose version of justice the history books would honor. The dice were about to be rolled one last time for America, and it wasn't clear whose side Lady Luck was on.
Now you've recaptured all of America.
Please be the moon,
But
says
Richard
the
has
chat.
The Special Intelligence Department is investigating, but
Metal Wolf, the Vice President is in Las Vegas.
Really?
That's not the moon.
Nobody rivals our intelligence gathering abilities.
My voice
Head
is
to Las
different
Vegas
now.
with me.
Well, not just me. Everyone in the resistance will be
On email.
rivaling support around the country.
Rivaling
I know
support.
how you feel.
Thanks.
I love the just flat response, thanks, in like a serious discussion.
Mr. President, good luck and Godspeed.
Jody, prepare Air Force One for takeoff. We're heading to Las Vegas.
Yes, Mr. President. The Vice President, Richard Hawk, waits for you in Las Vegas. My only advice to you is this. Beat him to a pulp. This mission goes by the call name...
Fuck that guy.
Good luck and Godspeed, Mr. President. We believe in you.
This is not a good level to show off the flamethrower, because there's not really enemies in it. This is a boss fight. Sort of.
Richard, come out!
Come out!
Oh, Michael, you're so sweet.
Richard!
And for that, I owe you. You canceled all my dreams and plans. So now I've got a nice little present for you. Here!
A helicopter!
So,
Let
the
me
bosses
ask you
from the
one
canyon
last
and
thing.
the first,
What do you
second one, I
want
guess.
on your tombstone? What do you want it to say, huh, Michael?
I'm the President of the United States!
So you can destroy the bridge that this tank is standing on, except if you do that, the item that he drops will also drop into the water, and it's like a health plus, so count one of those.
Shit! Ow! Fuck! Getting shot!
You showed him who's boss, Mr. President.
Bravo, Michael! What lovely footwork!
Richard!
Foot!
Now try dancing with me! This show's gonna run all night!
I'm just gonna ignore that. I don't. Yeah, it's a bit high. Could.
You know what I just realized your movement kind of reminds me of is in Dragon Ball Z Saga is the way you scoot through the air. There's a similar one.
Oh yeah. It's very hard to actually get the multi-boost because it actually has to feel like it's another direction for the game.
Scientists were among the POWs you rescued.
Alright, let's try this out.
This is very silly. I'm just driving around, Michael!
Where'd you go? Flew over and then did not.
These are some tall slot machines. Yes, they actually really are.
Where'd you go? Son of a...
Yeah, he's just doing alright. What are you waiting for him to do?
I'm trying to charge up my gun so I can fire it at him, but he keeps bipping me before I can actually fire it off.
a show for your Medal of Honor? Your Medal of Honor would look better on me. Give up!
Not gonna do that. Similar to me, he will not stand still. This son of a bitch. If I can only hit him with this.
Michael!
I'll try once more and then probably just...
Remember in my army, I was the most powerful rank, a foot soldier!
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna be able to hit him because it only shoots, like, at one point. Where all the people, they're away.
Sweet, sweet. Oh, you are so sweet, Michael. Like gulping a cup of condensed milk.
That's... no American would ever say that.
Think you can kill me, huh?
Follow me into the secret casino underground, Michael!
He's on
So,
the move. Chase
wait.
after him, Mr. President.
What could happen there is if I hit him with that and dealt enough damage to him, I can actually basically skip his entire health bar. Which did not happen. Oops.
Ow!
Understand.
So, like, wait, those machines are meant for normal-sized people? Well, this is a very expensive casino. Everyone gets in a mecha before they play a slot.
You know, the mecha is actually kind of surprisingly small.
I mean, it's pretty small, but, like, it's still pretty tall.
Yeah.
It's gotta be at least, like, 9 or 10 feet tall.
Very true. Right now I'm looking around for an item. Over here?
Where is Michael?
The vice president either lost at slots or ran out the back. Go after him, Mr. President.
No. I'm angry at slot machine.
I'm checking the slots. I always win. You know why? Because I'm the president!
It's like help and help me overlapped with each other in the worst freaking way.
Help! Alf! Help! Golf!
It's a good thing I'm getting health back.
Richard, you can run, but you can't hide.
Orange banana.
You coward!
Coward? Michael! You gonna complain? He's a coward. I can't win. So shoot me, Michael. Or are you a chicken?
Not that jerk off the roof. Show us who will have the last laugh.
Obviously be him.
I went to an improv competition once that had cycling judges throughout the day, and one of the judges was a lady who laughed like that, and whenever she laughed, her laugh was so bad that everyone else would stop laughing out of sheer awkwardness.
You break it, you bought it, Michael. You'll pay for the damages with your life. Now, Michael. Shall I take you to the next stage?
He's on the move again. Chase after him, Mr. President.
So, if I do not find a specific item, I will lose this next fight. So I'm gonna try to do that. It should have dropped.
Michael! Maybe he picked it up.
That'd be bad. It's a little bumpy.
What are you looking for?
It's a canister that's blue. Hopefully it's just in the hallway up to him, or else this is gonna be a big problem.
Don't worry, Michael. You have your father's ridiculous ice thrower.
Well, I'm gonna die.
How lovely, eh, Michael? Doesn't knowing that it all ends here kind of get your adrenaline going?
It was not a shield unit, no.
Richard!
Shield units are green.
Michael!
Oh, did I get it? Is that the boop sound?
We've got the
or is that something
There
else?
was a boop sound.
Oh, do I actually have it?
Ends here.
I hope so. Nope. I don't think it would be in one of these pillars.
Does it just spawn randomly in the level somewhere?
It shouldn't be random.
It's okay, Piph. I believe in you. You can beat him.
Alright. I will show you my loss.
No, Piph. You can do it.
Nice one, Michael.
I'm really impressed by you.
And take it to your grave.
That won't affect
Okay, I
you,
lived.
Mr. President.
He's invincible and will do a boatload of damage.
It's over, Richard.
You did.
Hey, I think it's the first time I actually beat him without the blue.
Like hell it is.
You know why you beat him, Piph?
No, man.
Cause you're the president.
Space shuttle.
Moon!
Space after that. Hey, Mr. President. Mr. President. Mr. President.
This is exactly last alert.
That's pointless, Mr. President.
Nothing is pointless. And the reason is because
Yeah!
I'm the president of the great United States of America. Yeah!
Mr. President.
Jody, I'm gonna step out into outer space. See you soon.
This is the best game.
Alright then.
I've given over 10 years of my life to this profession, and no scene has ever engraved itself upon my mind as the way this one did. I hope to God you go to the moon. And the fucking reporter in the helicopter's just like, look, DNN reporter here. 2 men, 2 ideals, 1 outcome. I cannot imagine where we would all stand now had things gone the other way.
President, are you all right?
Yes, and very pleased about my first flight in space. But
I love that this confirms that the poison gas would not have injured you.
Mr. President, be sure and come back now. The American people are waiting for you.
I am the President of the United States of America.
You sure that he doesn't have oxygen loss? I think he's not even responding anymore. Just going to his bare instincts.
I'll be back.
Right, Mr. President.
Please continue to update me as the battle goes on.
Sure, leave it to me.
Oh, and contact the Japanese embassy.
Remember the beginning of the game?
Yeah, I remember.
Tell them we can hold that wildlife protection conference.
Good read, dude. Moon! Space station!
The U.S.'s state-of-the-art space colony. He has concentrated an army of elite soldiers there with the plan to invade America from space. Knowing the vice president's sinister nature, I predict he has some unexpected trump card up his sleeve. But Mr. President, you must be victorious at all costs. The reason is because you're the president of this great land. This mission goes by the call name, Believe in Your Own Justice.
Period.
Goddamn, he still gets her signal out in space.
Best of luck.
I got some
and
powerful
Godspeed,
comms.
Mr. President.
Ooh. All right.
Hang on, let me stop at the space equipment store.
I will show you the freeze.
What category is that in?
It's flamethrower. It's not a good weapon whatsoever.
Don't tell me the drum roll is part of the game. It sure fucking is.
Of course it is.
A new viewer has been wowed by that every time.
Chasing 15 million feet after me. Now that's love. Well, I love you too, Michael. I love you so much. I can't stand it. So much. I want to kill you.
Finally, a yandere I enjoy.
Hold it, Richard!
Mr. President?
Piph, I don't think I've ever heard you giddily voice along with a line because you like it so much before now.
Stars in the Milky Way. Of all
It's
man's
so good.
achievements in the 21st century, this is the climax.
It's not like I took over the country because I like you or anything.
The barrier's shut. You won't be able to advance if you don't destroy it.
Cool. Shit, I should have turned around. Oh, he's frozen. Wait, it's the effect is still like flames.
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
It's not great.
POWs you rescued.
I mean, if you ever had a need to like stun lock normal mob enemies, I think it would make sense to use it, but you don't.
No.
So, if you end up if the roof isn't blown off, does it just crush you and kill you instantly, or does the elevator stop?
The elevator just stops. The thing is, like, this entire section's time-based. So if you lose that, you have to redo the elevator thing. There's also, like, people to save along the way. You can also use these stopped elevators to help with that.
I wonder what high priority targets they were like, we will take them with us to the space station!
This might be my biggest hunch of the 21st century, but hurry up and destroy it!
Destroy it!
I hope
Destroy
I have
it,
enough...
become human!
I hope I got enough ammo for all this. Sure.
You only have like 1,800 more.
Oh, for the boss.
I mean, do you have those grenade launchers? I feel like that would be good to use for this.
Yep, that's what I'm going to be using. It's just, I only have 2. I hope I do not run out.
Finally, the main course is on its way.
Blast it to bits!
Is there no weak weapon that just has infinite ammo? If you run out, you just fucked.
Yeah, if you run out, you're basically fucked. You can easily pick wrong weapons in this game and go down like wrong trees and do like absolutely crap damage.
Someone on chat. Money, money, gold was too high value of a hostage to leave on Earth.
Richard!
So, this boss is both the easiest and the hardest boss in the game.
What do you stand for, Michael? Be certain now. As certain as the blood gushing out of your nose when I bash it in. Be certain of your death here and now.
Aw, Metal Gear.
Now, come at me with all your body and soul.
Sorry, are you in a robot getting in a bigger robot?
Yes.
So is like one phase of this super hard and the others are easy, or?
No, it's actually just a legitimately difficult boss, except if you go up here.
I just can't reach.
Basically.
Nice one, Michael. But now it's time for my wild card. Stop shaking in your heels, senorita, and fight like a man. And now for the finale.
This is like the most bizarre performance I've ever heard. Like, I love it. It's just like, what?
The first time I played this, I actually ran out of ammo trying to kill this guy. It's the ultimate weapon.
No.
Never, never, never!
Into space!
So, again, that boss is supposed to be hard. I just use weapons that specifically defeat it in, like, a very cheap way.
Lose to you, Michael.
Merry Christmas.
Are you gonna blow up the Earth?
Hurry and destroy it.
So you have 30 seconds to defeat this boss.
Piph, can you do it? Oh. Screaming.
Just flies off like Team Rocket.
Richard!
At that speed and angle, he'll burn up like a shooting star.
This is exactly how I wanted this game to end.
Impossible! Not even you can
I'm
possibly
going
stop
in!
A shooting star!
Jody, who am I? I'm the president. I always make the impossible possible, and I'm gonna keep on doing so.
Yeah!
Michael!
Going faster is not gonna prevent you
It
from
was your
burning up.
methods that were flawed. Our love for America won't change.
He's the fucking lunatic, dude.
Richard!
This is one eternal flame with your justice.
What? Wait, hang on.
You've exceeded the critical point. There's no way out. Mr. President? Mr. President?
Shadow.
Come on, Mr. President?
Hurry up.
No problem.
Oh, shoot, the Earth! Oh my god. Dragon Ball Z noise.
I'm coming home. Jody. Tomorrow's gonna be another busy day at the White House.
Whoa, whoa!
My fellow Americans, good morning.
They're all soldiers.
As Americans, we love freedom.
I like these JPEGs.
But true freedom isn't a given like the air we breathe or the water we drink. About 240 years ago, our forefathers fought greatly, giving their blood, sweat, and tears. And in the
Man,
end,
they keep
won
redoing that
for freedom.
statue.
And we must never forget this. If anything appears that threatens our belief in this freedom, we will oppose it. We will crush it. In fighting to gain our freedom, we need no reasons. We require no just cause or flowery words.
These are the only soldiers left in all of America. We killed the rest.
We continue to believe in our own justice.
I know I just killed a lot of you, but it was because I'm the president.
Because we are all citizens of the United States of America. And as long as you all will allow it,
I was so hoping that he would be in the suit giving this.
Fight. And the reason is because I'm the president of this great United States of America.
Release the snakes!
The pollen has then taken over their minds. I got an A, B, A, and a no score, equaling an S, of course.
Oh, okay. You did it, Piph.
I did it. I beat space.
That's the end, huh?
That is the end. That is the triumphant climax of Metal Wolf Chaos.
Well, you estimated that would be a 5-hour playthrough, and you did it in almost exactly 3.
Huh. Well, I got a bit of stuff to show.
Alright, you're gonna show off some stuff.
So, this is very post-game biz going on here.
Their suppression of Beverly Hills.
We don't want to go to Beverly Hills. We want to go to...
On the prison island Alcatraz, only 3 kilometers offshore from San Francisco, the enemy force is setting up a huge electromagnetic Alcatraz cannon to combat terrorism. All the shelling in the desert region has implanted fear into the fight.
We've heard this.
Yeah, so, what are we doing here?
I would like you to just briefly glance at our weapon selection.
Okay. We got a knife. We've got a Hanabi. We've got Dirge. And we've got Shark. I'm so happy I did that one by one and genuinely didn't see Shark until the end.
We'll go through Fever mode.
Okay.
There's 3 modes, so there's a normal one that we played through, Fever mode, and Hell mode. Hell mode's supposed to be kind of like a harder mode.
What is that daunting thing?
The Alcatraz cannon.
How original.
Does it shoot sharks?
Richard,
I'm really just hoping that it's... I'm really just hoping it's a big shark that you swing around like a club.
A gun battery that big should take 5
So
minutes to recharge.
in this mode,
head for the Alcatraz cannon in the center of the island. Is that?
This is DNN's.
Forget it.
Oh, do we get to see you destroy the helicopter this time?
Let's see. There's shark missiles that actually just go out and seek people.
To the Alcatraz cannon.
It's great.
You should destroy it in order to decrease the energy recharge supply.
But in post game, if you do enough stuff, they actually allow you to what is it called? Freaking, it's so hard to describe. Like everything else in this.
A UFO has been sighted.
A UFO comes in.
Oh! Are we gonna shoot it down?
Yeah, we got some shoot from rock. Gonna shoot a football at it.
Oh! A football or a soccer ball?
No, football. It's a grenade launcher that just shoots a football.
What do you get if you break it? I guess we'll find out.
Oh yeah.
I don't think you can hit it from here.
Mr. President, the alien got away.
I guess got away means that he got out of his ship. This is the celebratory shotgun. It does actually no damage.
I love that it fires Japanese flags.
The sword shoots lightning, because of course it does.
Okay, so you're beating up this alien.
Mr. President, the alien has been brought down. Mr. President, that makes 10 little aliens. 10 little aliens. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little aliens, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little aliens, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little aliens, 10 little alien boys.
Jody is a psychopath.
Pretty sure she's also singing an old version of 10 Little Indians, which is a pretty something song.
This is the dragon. It just spits out dragon heads. Cuz.
Right now, Metal Wolf is using dragons and sharks to destroy the beloved U.S. military base at Alcatraz.
The Alcatraz cannon has been recharged 50%. Don't forget, when the going gets, something massive is blocking the road. Whoa,
Man, these guys are pretty brave for standing right next to the landmines.
Get that football and shark action. Just trying to be an American.
Imagine if instead of a mech, this guy did this all in a weaponized fursuit. That's actually very funny to me.
Let's see if we can reach our boy with any of the weapons that we currently have.
It's pretty close.
I am staring at Metal Wolf right now.
What now? Metal Wolf is taking aim at me.
My propeller has stopped.
Yeah, that's what the shark does. It's very weird. This guy actually does take like a lot of damage.
Shit!
Oh wow, yeah, he has a lot of health. Damn.
Metal Wolf, our justice won't stoop to your evil.
Metal Wolf!
Please stop.
How would you attack me, your best friend?
Shoot.
Get him!
My fellow viewers, please rest at ease. For I, Peter McDonald, have somehow managed to escape. I'll return to the action in another helicopter.
I mean, he's dedicated. I'll give him that much.
Oh no! The final fortress has been demolished! So, the U.S. military has had something up its sleeve.
Those who interfere will be eliminated.
Those are the more interesting weapons of Metal Wolf Chaos. A few of the other ones are just like kind of interesting, like the
Alcatraz cannon has been recharged 80%.
freaking
Didn't you say
what are those
you
things?
smashed the
Machine
president
guns.
in a Florida recall?
Become like they're like stakes that shoot out instead of bullets. And you're like, all right, it's
like vampire steaks or
yeah.
ribeye steaks.
Oh, okay.
Vampire steaks.
Platoon after platoon.
What I wouldn't give for a fly swatter for this buzzing insect.
Shut up.
Self-destruct mode.
Wait a minute. Before Metal Wolf Wolf could seize the area.
So yeah,
under
this game was
military
actually
orders, the
released
soldiers
only
blew
in
up the
Japan
Alcatraz cannon.
on the original
Simply
Xbox.
amazing. The U.S. military gets the job done no matter what.
But then re-released all the way in,
Today,
like,
once again,
I think it was like
military
15
forces
years
were dealt a
later,
lethal blow by Metal Wolf.
to an HD version,
Thanks
which
to these
has been
heroes
the
in our military, Metal Wolf and
XD
his
version
conspiracy have
of
been
Metal
held
Wolf
in check.
Chaos.
Our
So
hearts
you
go out to the
can
men
play
and
this
women who
fantastic
sacrificed
game
their lives in
without
battle.
needing to mod your
And to their
Xbox
families as
and
well.
buy like
Any further
$100 and some
reporting is
odd
too
dollar
dangerous.
game
Our news team is seeking refuge. Be the first to know as
to
we
play
continue
this,
pursuing
and things
Metal
will be in
Wolf,
English.
because
So
yes,
you freaking
the
pick it
pen
up on
is
Steam,
still
what have
mightier than
you.
the sword.
It's around.
This has been Peter McDonald for DNN.
Talk about biased reporting. It's exhausting to listen to.
Oh, you can
But
also change the
at
loadout?
least
You're
the
red,
West
I just
Coast is
noticed.
safe now.
Yeah, you can change your skin.
Excellent work, Mr. President.
Is there a big dumb American flag skin?
There's a flag skin, yeah.
Good luck.
Let's see. Special? Record enemy list.
Oh, I'd like to see the enemy list.
So
Red Eye.
It's camo. Richard Hawk, you can be the other dude, basically.
God, does he? Oh, only if he starts speaking as Richard Hawk would I.
Sadly, no. Zebra.
I love Zebra.
White sand. Pinstripes, which is supposed to be baseball themed.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Mike in
Mike
black.
in black.
This is supposed to be
Guess
for the
about
Xbox.
You hear that new Mike and Ike flavor?
Mike in black. So yeah, this is supposed to be Xbox colors. There's this.
Bumblebee.
This.
Bumblebee. That's Tracer Overwatch.
There it is.
There it is. What an ugly skin.
It's pretty ugly. More camo. This.
Convict.
Actually, okay looking, just China design.
Here's our skin for the Chinese audience.
Sorry for blowing up Chinatown. Dolphin. Desert
This
camo.
building has so much history. 800,000 people visited last year. I've always wondered how it would look like if we blew it up.
God. Let's see.
Jody
enemy
is
list.
so fucking crazy.
Gun soldier, bazooka soldier, missile soldier, shield soldier, gas mask soldier, stealth soldier. Here are the cars.
Oh, these are weapons? Okay, well, alright.
The many different kinds of...
This game is exactly the right length that this game should have been.
Exactly, like, it's a good pace. Now, mind you, if you didn't know what you're doing, it would take longer. Ultimate weapon. Gray.
It's gray!
Gray. Alien. UFO.
It's very stilly.
So,
Alright,
yeah,
that's...
you have to, like, go around to each area and find the alien, defeat it, and then it will pop up, like, in another zone. You have to just kind of keep finding it over and over again.
Is there a reward?
You get an alien gun. I should probably show the weapons. You don't really have, like, a good view of it. You only got that, like, tiny picture, but, like... you just kind of go through them. So, this one is just a pirate's cannon.
Okay. Fires big-ass time bombs.
This one, just sharks.
I'm really happy it's just called Shark.
Grenade launcher, which is the one that shoots footballs. Bouncing grenades.
If you went to like an arms manufacturer And he was like, oh yeah, this shoots bouncing grenades. And you're like, all right. And it shot these massive exploding footballs. What would your reaction be?
I don't know. I can barely visualize myself being in that situation. The BB gun, which shoots baseballs, of course. That's what the BB's for.
That's for the pinstripe outfit.
Right. We also saw the railgun, which fires dragons.
I need your silliest weapons that you have.
A messenger from hell. Oh,
wait, hang on. What was that?
It shoots bubbles instead of flames.
It's the bubbler from Cave Story.
Freezing gas. No weapon. So you can get, like, revolvers. This one does fire damage. Is it just an alien gun? It's pretty good.
Okay. Fires ring form rays.
You got the party shooter?
A bright, colorful, cracker-jacking shotgun.
This one just shoots wooden arrows. Like, if you see them, they're big stakes. That's just what that one is. Fires lasers. And we're back here.
Alright. Is that about everything? Is that Metal Wolf Chaos?
That's pretty Metal Wolf Chaos. I don't think there's any, like, bonus footage or anything like that.
Well, thank you so much for showing me this game, Piph. If I had to answer the question, did you do a good job of showing me this game and convincing me it's worth something, I would say you passed with I would say you got an A, a C, an F, and then another C, which all together averages out to an S rank somehow.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thanks so much, Piph. Do you want to plug anything before I put a bow on this stream?
Oh man, I guess if I'm gonna plug, check out my streams. I do a lot of just playing and hanging. It's not as constructed as this. If you want something that I do that's more constructed, very similar to this, go check out actually Jay's channel at Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. EST. I'll be doing showcase games like this, where I just find that they're neat or interesting and like to show them off.
All right. Well, thank you so much for co-hosting today. Thanks everyone for coming out. We coasted somewhere in the mid 200s for most of this stream, which is pretty great. And let me check real quick. I'll plug tomorrow's thing, which I am doing with Will. We are going to be playing Phantom Dust, a game I know literally nothing about. That is at Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. So I will see you guys there. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.